tweet this shit out real quick from our fucking YouTube thingy. And I'll tag all you guys in it. Okay, Twitter. Tweet this shit out real quick. Oh shit! Shut the fuck up, boys. Thingy. Quiet. There we go. Okay, and thank you, Shy, for organizing that Google Drive, or what do we call that thing?
Fuck the Jags.
No, don't go there. You want to go? Boyce doesn't want to start the stream out with Jaguars shit talk because.
Oh no! Of course not.
Oh, but guess what? Todd Gurley came and visited the Detroit Lions today. Hook up with his boy Goff. Since we shit on our fucking quarterback and let him go. Fucking idiots. Oh, sorry, guys. Hey, yeah, what up, guys? We're live. Yeah. I forgot about that.
We're live? Duval, baby.
We're live, baby, for a whole minute. Shit. What up, Yang Gang?
I bet there's a Jags fan out there.
Let's see here. So today we're going to start off with the aftermath of Amy Cooper, the Central Park Karen, called the guy about a fucking dog, killed the damn dog. And then we have vaccination rates in America. Oh boy.
That's a topic I'm looking forward to.
State tracker.
All these topics end in fuck America, fuck America, fuck America.
And then the general strike.
General strike, that's a good one.
We're going to
July 1st. General strike, July 1st.
You got it. We're going to definitely go in it. You guys want to do that one first since we're most passionate about that one? The general strike first, then we go to the COVID shit, and then Amy, what the fuck ever.
Yeah,
I'm the most passionate about Miss Cooper. I'm cool with all these. These are all hot topics.
I love them. Yeah. Shy, good shit, man. The brains. Matt, you're the beauty, man. That's just the way it is. Sorry, brother.
We call her she's the producer. We call her the producer.
She's that's a good nickname. Because I was
she's been like, I'm not the producer. Me? No.
I'm not the producer. Camera 2, shut the fuck up. Camera 3, here we go. Oh shit. But yes, let's start out with the strike first, man. Let's just fucking do this shit.
Strike.
Okay, so I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna hand it down to you. Okay, Shy.
Yeah, that's fine. To be fair, Michael probably can talk circles about that particular subject around me, but if you want me to introduce that we're going to talk about the strike, that's fine.
Right. And you can kind of, because you made the Google Doc, you can kind of, just quick thing and then we can get into it. You know what I'm saying? Good edit. What up? Like my shirt? Gang, gang.
That's nice.
Dude, it's a fucking great shirt, man. It's him
That's
at
wow. Nice. Yeah, I really like that, actually.
Like a lady from Arkansas, Yang Gang, gave it to me in LA in person. Wow. She's like, boys, this is Sasha. I'm like, from Arkansas. She's like, what up? I brought you a shirt. I'm like, what? I was like, you give me a fucking shirt, man? That blows my fucking mind. Like, you're giving me something for free? Holy shit.
But it's a kick-ass shirt, too.
Oh, dude, like, it is the
great. Yeah.
So I believe her husband made the stencil and then had it ironed on.
Fantastic.
It's a great picture too.
Yeah, man.
Sorry guys. Here we go. Okay, we're trying to plan for my daughter's graduation next week. That's why I was running a little behind here. My fault.
My son graduates next week, so
dude, I got 2 more next year.
Wow. I've got one entering their junior year. No, dude, sophomore year.
Think about this. I'm gonna get a Yang Buck back next year. $1,000 a month in child support back. Wow. I'm gonna get a UBI. I've been giving away a UBI to 2 peoples.
Yep.
So that's cool.
That's very cool, man.
I'll be glad when it's back, man.
As someone going through some stuff right now, I can tell you, it's an
expensive journey.
I've got a lot of friends. You know how many people I know going through that right now? Like,
dude, it's the inevitable outcomes of marriage in America.
I think, and COVID. I think COVID sparked a lot of shit.
Like, this is you every fucking day, all day. Ugh.
Yeah.
Or you have these relationships where one of the people in the relationship was only there for the money and the convenience and the time. Oh, he makes good money. You know, the doctor wife kind of, cliche.
Sure.
The doctor's working all the hours. The wife's out the fucking beach chilling or whatever. And I hate to be so fucking Gen X about that shit, but that's just an old saying, the doctor's wife lives the good life. And there's some examples still around here I live at. That's actually true.
Yep. My girl I dated in high school, father was a heart surgeon. And anyways, similar. Yeah, they had a situation.
They had a situation. Yeah. All right. So let's roll. Bam. What up, Yang Gang? Welcome back to the low. So wait, fuck you, boys. Fair enough. Shit.
Who said wait, fake?
I always cuss myself out when I fuck up. All right. Bam. What up, Yang Gang? Welcome back to the Trickle Up. And tonight we got Matt from Utah Media, Shy from Cheyenne for UBI, and then of course the mouth of the South over here, fucking Michael Patrick, Resist for Humanity. What do you got on the low for us tonight there, Shy?
So we're going to talk about the general strike that's supposed to happen July 1st.
Insert sound effect. Wonk, 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 wonk.
Let's go. Let's do it, people. July 1st.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's what we know. The when is July 1st. The what is that it's a day of non-participation. So the weight's not even on the workers, it's on the patrons too. Everyone's supposed to just stay home. Unless like your job is life-saving, obviously, like EMTs, etc. Like, yeah, like we get it. We make an exception for you. And the where should be nationwide, but honestly, if there's one place that it just makes a huge, significant splash, like that's all you need. And some people suggest that like a college campus, if just one college campus has like just becomes like ghost town for a day, that would be all it would take to really I say some people, Michael Patrick says that's how you're going to make a splash, is to turn a college campus into a ghost town for a day.
Yeah, if you can get one campus to do it, which I think you can do, and then you have articles wrote about that day and say we're planning one for a month from now, but the date's always, that's the thing about this one, is you got to keep the date variable so you don't tell them exactly when. But like a month out, we're going to do it again, and then you get more campuses. Maybe you get 4 or 5 campuses to do it. Then a whole nother set of articles get wrote, and that thing will go exponential. Like,
I think it's got to be more often than a month.
No, he's on point with this, because here's the problem with all these strikes. They're too ambitious, and because of that, they don't ever actually work. And so to his point here, if you want to climb Everest, you don't just fucking climb it in one day. You got to hit camp.
Yep.
Go up, back down, acclimate camp. So what he's saying is, let's establish something, show some legitimacy with the movement, and then slowly allow that to spread as you gain more and more traction. It's kind of what I was trying to hint at in that chat, right? So,
and to that's a good point, because what you're building within the striking base is resiliency. And that's why to do it for one day matters at first, especially because these are people that we're asking to strike that can't afford a prolonged work stoppage. Like, they're trying to survive themselves. And if you're in that position where you can't even take a day off, please go to work. Like, don't put yourself in a bad spot. So, but for those that can, plan ahead and think they can do that. Like let's go July 1st. We're doing this, and we're going to do it a month after that, and try to build this thing into something that has strength. So, and all you have to do is stay the fuck home. Stay the fuck home. You don't got to go hold signs, march, nothing. You can go just stay home.
Yeah, don't buy on Amazon. Don't go to Walmart.com. Don't go to a fucking gas station. Don't buy a single tank of gas, a gallon of gas. Don't buy a fucking Hershey's fucking pie. Don't buy nothing.
You know what you can do is get on social media and tell our Congress people what's up. Like, leave them a message, tag them, make a video comment to them, whatever. But tell them what's up. That's what you can do that day. And that would be tremendous.
Tell them about your little Twitter thing that you have set up, the bot for the Congress people as well while they're here.
Oh, I mean, to that point, like reply to your Congress people on Twitter. They are on Twitter all day, tweeting the most insane shit. If there's a couple of accounts, all 435 and all 100 senators, I believe is the names. And we can get it and put it in the chat or something. But follow those 2 accounts, turn the notifications on, and then you get notified anytime one of our senators or reps makes a tweet, and you can reply immediately. And I do that. And I've gotten into back and forths with Paul Gosar from Arizona, with Chip Roy from Texas, because you reply so fast, they're often still holding the device. And some of them are just, they're baited. Like they are as bad as you think from what you see. They can't stand a good witty comment. They fire back at you. Like, it's amazing. But we need to get on there, and if you can, and leave a video comment, because no one does that on Twitter. And it gets more attention. And they need to be told, our media news outlets, they don't call them, the journalists are not calling them out on the bullshit that they're posting nonstop there. So it's on us. We got to hold them accountable for that.
How many Congress people are there? 350 something?
That might be
435.
435.
Oh, 435. That's why it's not coming up. All 435 reps.
And so many of them don't get much attention. Like you think of like Trump's account or maybe Pelosi's account, those are going to get spammed with comments right away. Most of them, though, the majority don't get a lot of interaction. So you're literally like your message is crossing their feed, and tell them what you think.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best things that Stevens probably ever said, in my opinion, because it's just so foul, but it's just so accurate and on point. He refers to it as they have to smell my fart. So to your point, because like some of them just have such small interactions, such low traffic, right? What up, Carnage? Because there's such limited interaction, right? They see it, they fucking see it, and he's like, so it's like we're in an elevator, right? And it's just me and another person. And I kind of like let a silent one go, and they can smell it, and like they know it was me, but like, and I know it was me, but like, and so there's just no escaping it. So it's like a little forward, man.
And the journalists are on Twitter too, so they saw that fart happen as well, and they're watching it, and they're gonna write articles about it, like, you know, which they do. They will actually, like, I've had articles where they're writing about the Twitter reaction, and they've like use my tweets and shit back at them people. So like, yeah, tell them what's up.
But flatulence aside, one thing we didn't discuss is why are we striking? What is it that people want? And like the simple answer is financial freedom and like safe working conditions. And it gets tricky to plan a strike and execute actually get your demands met if you have like a laundry list of demands. But like I think it goes a long way to saying that financial security, people can argue that means better wages and basic income and safe working conditions. I think you can tie to like health coverage for all.
Well,
and, like the number of days we work, the number of hours we work, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But
healthcare, period. No. But yeah, I like that. The why is the most important thing, of course.
I think, but you gotta really address what we're demanding, though, because that is what's going to determine who rallies behind you and determine what you get. And in my opinion, and this is not, I don't think this is the way it's going. I think they're going to go for a long list, maybe 10 items or something like that. I don't know, but they're going to demand a list of things. And I support that too. Like general strike needs to happen, even if it's not my preferred demand list. I have 100% still behind it because we got to do something. But if it were me, I would do UBI, one item only. And the reasons are UBI is value, it's wealth, it's value that you can use to address any item that's on that list. And that's and all the items that aren't on the list. And so that makes it cast the widest possible net. And it may be the only thing that you could put on that list that the government can reliably deliver on. You talk about all these other proposals like healthcare and all that stuff. Those are things we need to solve. And I'm 100% for solving them. But they can't deliver that to end a strike. That's a structural, like multi-year thing, long process that's got to happen. They can fucking send checks, motherfuckers. Like that's the only thing they're good at. So that's my pitch for the general strike folks. Like, yeah, make it UBI. But either way, you know.
I would.
Real quick, Matt. The only thing I would push back on that, Michael, is that not everyone is on board with UBI, and they're still stuck in the workism of we need higher wages, and that's like they've got tunnel vision on that. So if you say financial security, you get both people. You get the workism,
minimum
higher wages people, and you get the basic income people, and they come together and it's a bigger collective.
What I was gonna say right there is hedge the two, because you don't want too long of a list that just becomes unreasonable to the point where you start to add in stupid shit, right? That is too specific. But you do want to have reasonable things that they can actually accomplish that shows if they have good faith or not, right? Which then is it allows you to scout them, right? Because you're feeling them out with this too. What the fuck? Because you're trying to gauge their reaction, right? What the fuck are they about? Because if this doesn't work and you actually get enough people going, then you know you need the next steps, right? So give them a few things that they can deliver on: minimum wage, UBI, healthcare, maybe something like Green New Deal or something. Like, not Green New Deal, because that will get too many.
Those are all deliverable. I think they can do those.
Something not partisan, but something bold that would get people involved. You know what I'm saying? But that they're going to say no to, obviously. But then leave some things on the table that they would say yes to.
And the other one important piece about the demanding UBI is what enables us to fight for those other issues more effectively, because it moves the negotiating power away from the employer back to the employee, and it's your labor strike fund. Like it's more per month than any labor strike fund in the nation today. So you talk about doing a work stoppage and demanding those higher wages, better conditions. This lets your employees in your union do that. And it lets an individual have, like me, as like I go out as an individual to apply for a job. I'm not desperate any longer. Now I can demand what my time is worth.
Not as desperate.
Not as desperate, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if we just make it broad enough and just say, like you said, financial security, whatever word you
I like that term though. I like the financial security.
You can make it about the $15 minimum wage. No one should work for 40 hours and still need government assistance. You can also say universal basic income for stay-at-home mothers, stay-at-home caregivers, disabled, whatever. Or like there's no jobs. Let's just be real. There's no jobs some places. And then the healthcare one could be used for like safe work conditions, such as, requiring masks. Demand your employer require masks. If you work for an airline, if you're an airline stewardess or a pilot, demand your people are vaccinated. Like all these things can be, broad strokes. That type of language gives everyone to personalize it to themselves, and they can make their own signs and make it for, this is why I'm doing it. But then you can have different signs for the same reason.
If this stuff's going to work, we have to become way more immersed within our own communities too. We have to build better ties with our communities locally and continue to build our ties online.
So here's my thing then. If we want to go to one place, if we could pick a place, where would you guys pick and why? Give me two options.
I fully endorse Michael's college idea, because one, young people they're just better at our generations, they're not going to save the planet. It's going to be Gen Z that saves the planet. So yeah, I fully endorse Michael's idea. I don't know what college campus, but
give me two examples and why you would pick a certain college, whoever.
And another other thing I would say is if it was like a small community, like a small town.
I got the place. I got your place. Gainesville, Florida. Gainesville, Florida. It's a small town, college town.
Yep.
They've got a lot of progressive politics activity there. That's where Adam Christensen launched his campaign using fund those students, and to do it in the deep red MAGA territory, like that's where we do it, and because we need it to seed through them too. Like,
I got an idea for mine. Penn State University. Deep in Pennsylvania. It's nothing there but the college campus. It's the entire ecosystem. There's fucking nothing there. And I think that would speak volumes. Penn State is a Division I, like Florida. Just so you guys know, Gainesville, Florida is where University of Florida is at. I'm saying more Penn State because Florida is a fucking lost cause as far as I'm concerned. They'll just say, look at those fucking stupid ass liberals trying to shut it down. We'll show them, then we'll buy more gas or whatever, But Penn State, it's so isolated.
I think that's part of the problem right there. If this strike's going to work, we have to get Republicans behind this, actually.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yep.
We can
white Republicans, by the way, not just any fucking nut job.
That's right.
Psychopath.
That's right. There aren't many right now, but they're there. And to the sane ones, we need to be like talking to them because
half of them are sane, reasonable, and can be reasoned with. So that's why I broadcast to them by picking off their opinion leaders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even with your local community, like when we said we need to get more involved in our local community, like find the people that are influential in your community and go reach out to them because
church leaders, local newspapers, anyone who's like a big local business, your local Congress people, like he's talking about, their staff members. They're pretty accessible, man. These people are pretty accessible and they're pretty important opinion leaders within communities. And this is how you do it. So
you got to get their influence, get their ear. Like,
let me give a quick example, man. Like I've done before on this show, I believe the Iranian resistance, the NCRI at one point was labeled a terrorist group by the State Department. And that was about a 12-year plus battle to get delisted, right? And they didn't do it by, that's a big battle to get delisted.
Bad one.
That's a big battle, right? To take on the State Department. And they ultimately won that battle. But how'd they do it? Grassroots, right? So you had to get involved with petitions with local church leaders, right? Get them to sign all these different churches, right? So it kind of generates some buzz, right? Interview out, talk to anybody in media, anybody who's willing to kind of give you a story, give you some time, right?
Yep.
Keep asking for meetings with your congressmen, your local congress people, right? Getting them to sign, trying to push legislation about your guys' cause, things like this that brings awareness.
And if you're doing that, I mean, it might help to go under the mutual aid effort that's going on. If you're new to your local community and like getting out there, one thing that helps the general strike is developing these local networks of mutual aid where people that need some bread or need a few bucks or whatever it is, where others volunteer and help them. And if the more resilient we make those type of communities, the more capable we are of being effective at a massive general work stoppage. Like, it's a hard ask. We're not doing it now, and it's a hard ask, but it's one that has to be done, I think, if it's going to be successful. So,
well, let's also think about who we want. Who is the easiest to get to do nothing? College kids. Don't go to class.
No. I'm not.
That's the opposite
I'm
of
not
what I was
judging that
pitching a second
generation
ago.
like that. No, they're hard workers.
No, I'm not saying they're hard workers, but when I was in college, bro. Oh, don't go to class. Don't go to don't get nothing. Go buy your shit up like the day before. Yada, yada. Cool. Let's just stay in and play fucking Madden or whatever the fuck people play online. Shoot them up.
There's some truth to that.
You know what I'm saying?
My son was just picking his classes, and it was like it was every day. It was like as late as we can get him, like in the day. Yeah, exactly. No early AM classes where we get it signed up for.
But let's think if we could get this in at Gainesville, at Penn State. Where do you think, Matt, would be more effective?
I'm not really concerned with where it'd be more effective, just where the fuck might it work, honestly. So when you throw out feelers, you see where the kind of best reaction is and be like, okay, boom, there's ground zero.
I think
like Cal Berkeley,
you'd want to get the student bod council sold on the idea, and maybe they pass it as as an announcement, like hey, this is passed and we agreed upon on this day. We're doing a sick day and a campus sick day, whatever it is, whatever the term this ends up being. Like then it's like not so disruptive that the campus doesn't know about it. They kind of know what's going on. There's probably going to be a lot of people with tendencies to want to help that effort on campus and administration. So it won't be met with like a business response, like where they'd be like, fucking no. So you might have to just feel out different student council bodies and see who's who's in the place, and that they'd be willing to do something like endorse that.
Yeah, and you could even like create like a little bit of a rivalry there, because a lot of colleges have that anyway. So it's like who can do the more impactful
Who can
general
strike the
strike.
hardest?
Oh my
teachers?
God, that's how you do it right there. Strike 2020, 21. What campus can, however you like, what campus can
Oh,
strike?
like a Sweet 16.
Bros.
What campus
March
can do
Madness?
nothing? The best at doing nothing. Like,
Or like they just call the like instead of March Madness, you got like it's the July 1st. It's like it's all about Independence Day or some shit. Independence Madness or some shit like that. Play on this patriotic shit.
yeah, totally. We need to play off of anything moving forward. We got to play off patriot. Like, use the flag, use the red, white, and blue colors. Like, for real. Like,
use the flag.
Incorporate the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's we know that that's symbolism and there's stuff behind that, but it's effective, and we need to be effective. So,
can I throw a really kind of just random idea out there that I've been kind of playing with the last few days?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who don't like America too, right? What if we sold American themed toilet paper?
You mean the red, white, and blue on the toilet paper?
Yep.
Wow.
It's not a bad idea, but like if you look into it, there's a reason we don't do a lot of colored toilet paper. It's because the ink it's not good to put that on your body.
Well, it could just be a novelty item too.
It's a sacrifice they have to make for the cause.
But
like a rash on your ass.
The people buying that though deserve it. Like,
yeah.
Maybe like
it's not so that I would ever get myself, because it's just like it's just not tasteful. But like,
but if someone's willing to spend $15 on something,
I feel like someone would want to say, "Yo, I got some American flag toilet paper."
I would buy it as a gift for someone else.
I would buy it for sure. I'm buying it for sure, and I'm a veteran. I'll buy that motherfucker.
Would you wipe your ass with it? Is the question.
I would document it somehow.
Man, that's a harder take, boys, than like some of the stuff that Matt and Michael pitched for me to be like, we're gonna do this live on stream, and I'm like, I gotta look into like the legality of that before I approve that. But like, you might have just taken the cake on that one.
Slap that bitch up against the window. I ate apples. How do you like those apples? Bam. Well, Goodwill Hunting reference.
Hey, killing me.
Two girls, one cup, right?
Oh, Lord.
See, just throwing it out there.
This is a great idea. Way better than our burning the flags in the Bible idea.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Not way better. Just hand in hand with what I think might go down on the 4th. Since you mentioned it, I think July 4th might be a great day.
That would be the day. That would be the day.
Man. Or what if you, instead of, you could just burn the toilet paper, slice by slice.
You can burn it while using the toilet paper.
That'll burn your ass, though, bro.
No. I'm multifaceted here. Utilizing the toilet paper will
then burn it.
Boys, what are your thoughts on burning the flag? What's your opinion?
That's the most patriotic thing you can do.
Really?
Yes.
You're not my man.
Absolutely. Yep.
Fact.
Because it is the First Amendment. Period. You can't say you're a constitutionalist. You can't say you're a patriot. You can't say I'm a fucking veteran. Shut the fuck up.
That's why
you sideways thinking fucking hooligan. Get a grip and think.
I'm on the same page 100%. 100%.
I would burn. I'm not going to buy a flag until I feel like it's representing us. That's my silent protest. I will never buy I've never bought an American flag ever.
I bought one during this summer. This summer, I bought one because I got sick of Trump wrapping himself in the flag and shit. And I said, you know what? You don't own that flag. I'll fly that flag. And I got fuck Trump as my Wi-Fi signal in the neighborhood, but no, I'll put a flag up because,
Yeah, but this is my own fucking thing. I'm just like, plus I can't put it out. Nobody gives a shit where I'm at. I'm at the dead end of a dirt road. So nothing I can display at my home is really going to speak volumes. That's why I put my Yang 2020 sticker on my work vehicle's tailgate. And they weren't exactly on board with that.
I had that Yang sticker out months after. It was months after he hung it up.
Dude, I still voted for him. Shit, I caught so much hell for taking a picture of my ballot and saying, "Bam, bitches, I voted for something, not against something."
Yeah. Hey, man.
And
I wish I could have.
fucking wish we should have voted for fucking Bernie or Joe Biden.
What state are you in?
Michigan.
And that Michigan was sort of close.
Oh, it was the week after he dropped out.
Wait, are you talking primary, bro? Or are you talking
primary.
general?
Primary. Okay.
Biden in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I couldn't go third party like I did in 2016.
I could, dude. I was going to. I was in Florida. He had already dropped out. I was going to go. It was the first time I was fucking excited to vote in my life, and I couldn't do it because they did not have the COVID situation fucking dealt with here, and you had to go in person, and it had to be during a limited window, and all the workers are elderly fucking workers. No one here was wearing masks because they don't give a fuck. And I was like, I just can't go be a part of that. Like, and risk, me getting it or me giving it to someone else. And especially early on, we didn't know what the deal was as much as we know now. So,
well, I got a lot to say about that. I'm gonna save that for the next segment. But yeah, I got a lot to say about that shit as a healthcare worker. Yeah, I'm totally down with the fucking strike. I'm down for multiple strikes at multiple locations. I'm down for the competitiveness. I like that idea, Shy. That is fucking golden. Michigan versus Ohio State. Fuck Ohio State. Florida versus Florida State. They're going to go at it. Bulldogs versus
Florida State. My son's going to FSU. The FSU with him on campus, they're a fucking general strike. Like he's turned me into a comrade over the last 6 months. So don't doubt this kid's powers of influence. Like
That's true. Yeah, man. But yeah, I like the idea of making it competitive on a college campus. But then again, guys, it doesn't matter what we think. What do the college kids think? It's not enough for us to just say, I wish you would fucking do this. They're like, bitch, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So
I think a lot of these kids will surprise you. Most of the people I've interacted with that I found to be the most intelligent and fucking with it and on top of this shit are college kids, man. The younger generation by far is kicking our ass.
One group that has consistently been at the front line of every protest, rally, fight, etc. since I know 1950s in Iran. College students, university students.
The same thing with that book that the Yang Gang Book Club did called The Blueprint for Revolution. It's all college kids.
It's always young minds who are inquisitive, they're trying to explore the world.
Yep.
The founding fathers, the Revolutionary War, they were young. Some of them were like 18. They were in their 20s and 30s. They weren't like these old bearded men that you see in the history books. They were the fucking young kids, and they fucking revolted and won against the world's greatest military empire.
Well, wasn't it true that like Paul Revere is only like 22 years old, like barely an adult?
Yeah,
getting the responsibility of hauling ass and letting everybody know, and then lighting that fucking was it lantern or some shit, And I think we fucking glorify that guy a little bit too much, but whatever.
Hey, we glorify all of them too much. They were all human beings, fallible,
But yeah, I think that the college campus is a cool idea, but you know what would make more impact to me personally? That union shop, that non-union shop now in Alabama. Amazon workshop just said, you know what? We're all calling off.
Here's the thing with the union.
Shut that shit down, man. Unionize, fuck you bitches. Which they won't get everybody to do it. They're gonna make their money. But
I've heard even the union leadership has not been receptive to this. And that was a little surprising to me, but I've been looking into it, and I think what the union members need to realize is the union leadership is not representing them. They're part of the establishment now. They've become, those union bosses are now part of the system, and
they're bought and paid for. They're politicians, man. I worked in a union shop. They're fucking 100% politicians, and they suck usually.
Yep. So unions you got to take that out of your leadership and get people in there that care about, that are looking out for you.
Leadership should trickle up in an organization, not down.
Mm-hmm.
All good things trickle up.
Once that happens, though, that's a key point, though. Once unions get involved and you get real industry wide work stoppages.
Yeah, that's nationwide.
Now you're gonna get what you're demanding. And that's where
somehow we can get the truckers involved. It's over.
the truckers are
They can
they're
just
worth
park their shit.
pursuing. It's a hard argument.
They could park
Yeah.
their shit on the highway and shut this motherfucker down for real.
Yep.
Shut it down.
You gotta offer them something. And what you have, their industry is facing obliteration. Half of them realize it, and half of them are in denial. And what you have to do, if you could offer the truckers that realize it something tangible that says you're going to be taken care of, I think that would get through. And then I think you'd see the rest of them kind of sign on too, honestly. So, but it's industry. There's many industries where that's happening. And, but the truckers for sure.
Well, here's the hard part. It can't be the people hit the hardest during the pandemic either that have suffered the most. That's why I think college kids is the best idea, because they didn't suffer as tough as people in like the restaurant business.
A lot of them are, though. A lot of college kids are in the restaurant business. I think college kids did get hit hard. They didn't suffer the death stuff that to the same degree that the rest of us did, but they were the ones that were hanging on to these like hotel jobs, restaurant jobs. Like they were the ones doing a lot of that stuff, Uber driving and all that shit. And maybe the Uber drivers made out, but they were still risking their life. Like
they're still getting paid shit. Let's be real.
Getting paid shit to have all them people in their car, like,
and assume all the risk.
Yep.
With minimal skin in the game for reward, man. I have a buddy who works in Chicago. He works for the corporate office of Uber. He's in charge of the marketing and shit in Chicago. And he's like, dude, it's hard to keep drivers, man. And he's like, I keep telling them, pay them more. You got to pay them more. You can't expect them to keep doing this. You got to provide them with the fucking things to put in their car. If they sign up, you should be mailing them the plexiglass kit to put in their car. You should be mailing them wipes and masks and everything else and spray cleaning solutions. And they're like, man, hell no. He's like, you guys made record profits, man. He'll get fired for fucking pushing that too hard, probably.
Yeah. If I was in that position, I'd say my piece and then I'd have to shut my mouth or lose my job. I know, like,
especially a corporate job, they'll fucking skin you so quick.
Yep. So many people like I don't, like on TikTok or whatever, I do my rants and I get a lot of people that follow me, and I don't know why. Honestly, I didn't know why for the longest time, but it's literally people don't feel like they have the freedom of speech, because they think that what they say online is going to cause them to get fired. And so me just being like, just saying whatever comes up, like they a lot of times it's what they want to say and they just can't.
Well, voice for the voiceless, that's typical.
It's sad. We're a country that prides ourselves on that, though, like freedom of speech, right? How many people actually have freedom of speech out there?
We're a country that prides itself on the illusion of free speech.
Believe in the lie.
Freedom, on the illusion of the American dream. It's a fucking illusion, man. It's just the way. I'm sorry, guys. That's the way it is.
This country doesn't really have much. Dude. Someone I was watching someone talk about it, like what's like white culture. Right, it's basically what's American culture. It's like pretty much like resistance to culture.
All cultures, right?
Yeah,
we're the melting pot, right? But
hot dogs.
Well, that's about as close to American as it gets. How nasty is that, bro? Were hot dogs made here, like invented in America? I wonder about that.
Probably
potted meat.
I don't even want to look it up because I know it's probably right, and I'll be like, oh,
potted meat. That is disgusting. That's like the shit that it isn't good enough to be a hot dog. Think about that shit. My dad used that shit when I was a kid. I was like, the fuck? That stuff stinks. And he puts it on crackers. You don't know what you're missing, boy.
Ugh.
Blech. It's like pink. Ugh.
I love a good hot dog. I love a good corn dog. Yum, yum, yum.
Dude, I went to a ball game last night. Minor league ball game. Fucking first time I've been out of the house like in a year, man. And yeah, it was fun.
You're probably,
Well, it was empty though, is the thing. Like I'm in Charleston, and there's no mask mandate. There's no limitation. There was open stadium, but people didn't show up in numbers. Like it was definitely less than half filled.
But that's
I-
minor leagues, though. It's always like that.
No, like they like this because I was asking, and like it should have been 3 times the attendance for this time of the
Okay.
season. Like this is the weather's nice. They just started the season. Like they should have been, yeah.
So
And-
one of the arguments against like mandated lockdowns, not that we ever actually fucking locked down, was that public behavior was largely kind of doing it anyways. Like people themselves are kind of like hesitant still. Like they're like, so if you look at like how like excited are you to go back to ballparks? How confident are you? People are still pretty hesitant about sports events and things like that.
Sure. I know. I was like walking into it. Like I was like, do I need to wear a mask? I don't know. I don't feel, but after you get in there, and then it was like, no, I think it feels back to normal. I'm fully vaccinated. Everyone I was with is fully vaccinated. Most people I run into are like, there's some idiots, but the majority of people have been vaccinated, at least got 1 shot already. Like,
yeah. Well, let's go on and actually move on to that topic next. So let me see. Let's just wrap this one up. Fucking. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think about that in the comments section. While you're here, of course, give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell for alerts for upcoming videos. And thanks for joining us. See you guys next time, man. Like always, yang fucking gang. All right, cool. Let's do that. You guys want to do the?
Should have done this. Next time I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I know when Michael was like, I don't know if I should have wore a mask. And I was like, that motherfucker better like indicate that he's fully vaccinated. Otherwise, this is like just going to be a misinformation 2.0. And then he's like, full disclosure, I'm fully vaccinated. I'm like, that's how you start off.
Well, I delayed that for the suspense because it would keep people like ready to fire at me. And then I tell them. Like,
but it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, guys. Correction, Manny. President Manny, correct me. He was 40 years old when that happened, not 20 something.
Paul Revere was Paul. Yeah, I don't know
He was born in the 1730s, I believe.
Yeah, 1735, and the midnight ride was 1775. So I was way off on that motherfucker. I don't know who I was thinking about. It was 20 something.
Wow.
Anyway, shit happens.
Every 100 years.
You step in.
Every 100 years we've had something. If you think like revolution, then Civil War, then the 60s counterculture movement, and
you just bypassed World War I and World War II too, which if you consider the American corporation and its growth, I wonder how much of a role that had to do with shit.
A lot.
But wait a minute, 1975. You missed an important date, Michael.
What's that?
My ass came into this fucking earth, baby. Whatever that's worth. Jack
it moved the needle. It was never the same.
And Elvis died, I think. Jimi Hendrix, somebody died, whatever. Anyway, yeah. Let's see here. Okay, vaccine tracker. Vaccine rates. Okay. Shy, you got a bunch of good visuals. I'm about to bring those fuckers up. Let me get that ready. Whoa. Wait, where's the button? There it is.
Yeah, those are just in the fortune.com article.
Okay, cool. We got that up. Cool. Sorry, guys. My daughter keeps fucking texting me. Kid? Like, out of the blue. She's like, I want a snake or a hamster or something. I'm like, what?
The answer is no. Like, that. That's just my default.
You got 1 year left in high school. You want to get something that's going to live 60 fucking years?
No.
Not in my house. I want less responsibility, not more, Emma. She asked for the randomest shit, man. It's the youngest one, man.
How old is she?
16, man.
Dude, I've got an Ella that's 15 and same. Always. She always wants something. She gets me. I say no, but she always gets me. Nor she'll win. She wins enough of them if it. Yeah.
She just it's called a big net. He'll say no to most, but guess what? If I want these 5 out of these 30, that we're cool. You know?
She's persistent. She gets it normally. It's like,
you punk. Toughen up, Dad. It's hard. I can't.
They got me.
If I got the money, I'll take care of business. But
exactly.
Anywho, so COVID. Gotcha. All right. Ready for the next one? We talked way too fucking long on that one. Okay. I'll be some creative editing. But it's worth discuss. The general strike's a big deal as far as I'm concerned. That's why I think we should do it first. So, all right. Bam, what up, Yang Gang? Welcome back to the Trickle Up. And what do you got on low for us tonight there, Shy?
We're going to talk about where we are with the vaccination rates in America.
Yes.
So recently, we've hit the milestone that more than half of all U.S. adults have been fully vaccinated, which is in part because a big bracket of like children can't even get a vaccine because there's nothing approved for them. But within that category, you have 74% of all seniors and 39% of the whole population has been
fully vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated.
I thought it was higher than that.
The first dose is higher.
What's the first dose?
It's over 60% for the first dose for the whole country.
Okay.
So in the next month, that thing's going to jump to 60% instead of 39%. And so then we're going to
hopefully there's been some people not getting their second dose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumb people.
But some of that is just like they don't go back to the same place.
My son was that case. He got
like
his,
they make it where you can like just do walk-ins on like every pharmacy on your block. But originally you had to like, go to a community college. Like, so some of it's like, it's just the paperwork didn't get aligned. But
and not to promote this too much, but there's a high degree of efficacy with the one dose, like 80%.
Over the Johnson Johnson?
The Pfizer.
No, Pfizer is 97%.
With one dose?
No. A full 2 doses.
Yeah, with a full 2 doses, like 95. With one dose, it's like 80. So even those people, like, I'm not promoting anyone do that, but
and like Pfizer's interesting too because they were the first to get approved to actually start vaccinating like teenagers. Like I think it was the 12 through 16 got approved.
Yep.
And I think they're on the trajectory to get the 2 to 11. By September, which I think is kind of sad because it basically means they're going to start the next school year with all the kids being not vaccinated for like the first 2 months of school. So to think that there's not going to be collateral damage there is just like ignorant.
No, there will be. So now you're risk mitigating. Like, what's the damage of keeping them home versus the damage of them going? They have the best outcomes if you're. I mean, because I know in my community we had a high suicide rate for teenagers in my small town, much more than normal, and it was. You can explain it away however you want, but the common thinking is that at some level the shutdowns were responsible for this.
Well, so increased risk of severe depression and suicide for sure.
Yeah.
If you look at early studies on like the effects of lockdowns are the best preventative measure, but they also have the harshest like negatives to them. So that's why they're not meant to be long term. They're meant to be targeted, and kind of a last case implementation type of thing.
Yep. And it normally they would be, and we wouldn't have even had to do it if we were doing the proactive, scientific, medically approved plan that was in place. That would have kept us from getting that bad.
Well, I mean, like, don't kid yourself. If like when it just started back in, I don't know when the deaths started, but like January, February, if they just shut everything down for 2 weeks, let's just say 2 weeks. It would have been gone. And so instead it was like remote learning for months on end with just exponential growth on the death rate. Right. So
it would have been a K-shaped recovery. Okay. K-shaped recovery.
That's the second angle of this is that when we shut down, it was always, we're going to be opened up by Easter. Right. So these people that are in positions that should have been planning for a long-term deal, they were doing nothing and hoping that Trump was right and this would just go away.
We never shut down.
Oh, I know.
Like we never shut down. Early on, our mask use was probably below 50% early on when we were even shutting down. We never shut down. And then here's the thing. We're still having this conversation in a game of exponential growth.
Yeah. Exponential growth, it's hard math for people to get. It's one that I wasn't up to speed on. I'd studied it briefly in high school. I never came up. But you know what? I watched a YouTube video on viral pandemics, and they covered exponential math, and I fucking understood it. And our leaders should be capable of doing the fucking same. And we're electing idiots that aren't. They never got it.
Just look at square roots. That's the quickest way to really get an idea of the square of exponential growth. Is a square roots chart. It 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4, 5. All of a sudden you get to 10. You are making a vertical leap rather quickly. It's a very quick slam, and that's what we saw in India right now.
Correct. They said that in New York City, if they had initiated that lockdown in New York City 1 week earlier, it would have resulted in like tens of thousands of less deaths.
Yeah,
dude, that's the thing right there. If you look at like this guy did a breakdown of like a couple cities and when they implement the masks. One was like by July, like when they got like appropriate level of like widespread use, which is, I think it was like 80% or something like that for mask use. It was one which was like July 1st for the town, August 1st, and like September 1st. And every month you didn't implement it, it was significantly less effective once you did get it going because you just were too far behind.
It's already been out there. You have people have the problem with this is non-symptomatic carriers. That's the biggest cue for exponential growth.
Which is also the key variable they don't understand driving our early assumptions. That's why everyone's like, oh, Fauci, the CDC lied. Like, no, they didn't. Like, we had original assumptions, because you make statements based upon the knowledge that you have, and then we gained that knowledge, so it changed what we had to say.
But even then, when they learned that there were asymptomatic carriers and most people did not have a bad outcome, that it was less lethal, they made the assumption that meant it wasn't something to worry about. And it was less risky. And in fact, that's the natural thing to assume when you don't know anything about viral pandemics, but it actually makes it more dangerous because then you have people transmitting it to many more people because they don't even know that they have it. And your grandparents, your old, older relatives that have weakened immune systems, anyone is vulnerable, and even people that are healthy, like this number of them. All of them, it's like dying. Yeah, the people in high contact areas. Yeah, they're fucking that high contact area.
Operators, a police
law enforcement. It was the number one cause of death of law enforcement officers. So all of you Republican, Blue Lives Matter idiots, y'all fucking deny the COVID shit, and the law enforcement officers often wouldn't wear masks either. And because they didn't believe it. But COVID killed more of them than anything else last year.
More than American flags during an insurrection? This is crazy. But, don't take a knee for the flag, but you'll stab a police officer in the chest and face with a fucking US.
Maybe that's the visual before we burn the flag is them using that as a weapon. Like,
they weaponized the literal flag.
Literally.
They were assaulting police officers with fucking American flag fucking poles.
I'm as worried as ever. For a brief bit, I stopped. I was hopeful, but I think we're in danger zone here. I think that we're going to lose the midterms and we're going to lose Congress. I don't think Biden gets another piece of legislation pushed through until those elections, and that means the Republicans win. Then he gets nothing. You're going to get Ron DeSantis, Ron death sentence as the Republican candidate, and he's going to win.
Not if Trump does no.
Michael wants to make he wants to make sure that soundbite is now on record so that when Ron is, inaugurated, he can be like, remember when I said that, guys, on May 27th?
I'm going on record now.
Well, he's been saying it since I met him. I've been saying it since he met me. That dude is the one.
I live here in Florida.
And I live here in California, and we're talking about him here, bro. Republicans here are talking about him.
See, and they know the Republican Party in California, they don't win in California, but they are influencers. They're big money contributors. And they respect what Ron did here. and they look at it as how
I love him. The independents here kind of like him, dude.
And there's a massive gaslighting and revisionist history effort taking place on how Florida handled this virus that they're undergoing. We were a shit show, and they're trying to paint this picture of how we did it our way, uniquely, and without all the rules and stuff. And we turned out great, and it's not true.
Just don't tell those 75,000 dead people in the state about it.
Exactly.
It's
the last time I did the measurement, which was months back. It was this Panama City. Florida lost as many. The number of dead from COVID is the population size of Panama City, 4 months ago. So take that city and put a nuclear bomb on it, take it off the map. That's how many we lost. So don't let Ron's death sentence fool anybody.
You just hit the key thing right there, because it's not some fucking nuke going off, right? It's not some bomb. It's not some fucking bullet with some brain splatter, right? People don't give a shit because you're not at the person's bedside when they're fucking choking for air, right? Because you're not fucking there. You don't see it. Out of sight, out of mind. We know this is a very monkey see, monkey do, dumb society, right? So the fundamental fucking issue here is that you motherfuckers don't understand science. And we have a leadership structure that doesn't know how to communicate shit because they're all busy infighting like a bunch of dumb fucks, because we're a bunch of dumb fucks. So, of course, we're putting a bunch of dumb fucks up there.
Yep.
And here's the thing, dude. Y'all are afraid of a vaccine. Vaccines have been a concept for centuries. Literally centuries. Like the same people who are like, yeah, we're big, bad patriots. We're not afraid of nothing. You're afraid of, science. You're afraid of medicine. You're afraid of shit that's been around for centuries. Literally centuries. Vaccines have been around for centuries. Masks as a concept have been around for about a century. And all this new mRNA technology which has been around for almost 2 decades, by the way, in some form. They've been working on it, right? So all it is essentially, and boys can correct me here, I might get this wrong because this is not my arena, but essentially it's just create a spike protein, which then creates an antibody response, right?
Yeah. So the way the mRNA one works is they say, okay, this sequence makes the DNA, they have the genome to make that protein spike, and then there's another genome that makes a certain part of the actual. They break the virus up into 5 to 10 pieces, right? They kind of chop it up and say that we're going to make individual pieces, and here's a spike protein, and they're just going to inject it, and it takes your cell materials and it makes a spike protein, and then that's it. Then it gets out, then boom, then it spreads, and that thing keeps making. So now your body sees, oh, here's a foreign body, here's a spike protein. It runs into a damn T cell or a white blood cell or an antibody, and it keeps trying keyholing things. Then eventually that thing goes, oh, this is a keyhole. Bam, make it. Now you have that thing that identifies it. It's like the key. And so once you have one, then you're going to have the rest. Or slowly, it takes 2 to 3 weeks to build up your immune system to be 100% capable of prevention of severe effects. I'm vaccinated. I can still get COVID. I can still pass COVID. I'm operating under that assumption.
Sure.
We don't have enough evidence yet, right? So I can still get it. I can still pass it. Now, if I get it, there is a 0% chance that I will be hospitalized, which means 0% chance that I'll die. Duh. What? Now, I actually had a talk with my patients today. I had 2 new patients, and both of them are recovering from COVID. So they're in the hospital last month, and they're the fucking Trumpers, the never Biden people.
Both of them.
Yeah. I knew it as soon as I came in, man. I was like, oh Lord, here we go. COVID, you don't say.
It's
an
this latest stage.
Yeah,
dude, yeah. I would feel horrible. This stage to get it.
Here's the worst thing. This guy gave his granddaughter, 18-month-old baby, COVID. Fuck. He gave it to his daughter, and his daughter gave it to his granddaughter.
Fucking Robert needs to listen to this shit. Our MAGA terrorist friend that doesn't believe in the vaccine.
So I had 2 patients in both houses. Everyone got it in the entire house. Everybody.
Yeah. Once it enters a home, see, that's the other thing. People don't understand. They were comparing town to town, nation to nation, right? And a lot of times, a place that wasn't doing anything still had no viruses, and it's literally just because The virus hasn't been introduced into that environment yet.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
That's it. Once it gets into your home, like
our country didn't realize that early on. Like here in California, we did a mass lockdown at times, which is fucking stupid. Because to your point, even early on, this isn't hindsight bias. It's it's not in certain counties yet. They don't have to lock down yet. Just limit county to county travel and things of that nature, right? And then just be smart about that. But then you can do targeted lockdowns, and you're fucking fine. But we are so dumb, dude. This sounds so bad because 600,000 people now died essentially, right? And our leadership was bad across the board, but our president in particular, and certain people on the right in particular.
Here's the issue, dude. Trump's plan to reopen that he initially put out, it was good. It was based on evidence, positivity rate by locality in small areas. It was treating high density urban areas different than residential, rural areas. And he put it out, and he never followed at all. He called the governors that were following it, for liberate. He was tweeting "liberate" at them the next day.
To be fair, to clarify though, someone in Trump's administration or people in his administration came up with this plan. He didn't personally sit there and be like, "How do we tackle this?"
No, of course not.
So,
he didn't want it.
I know you know that, Michael. I'm just clarifying that for anyone else. I'm let's not give the guy too much credit here. But yeah,
no, he was given that plan and told to put it out, and he didn't want to do it.
Our vaccine, how we handle viruses, the playbook for that actually was pretty fucking solid before Trump showed up. Because first of all, people don't like to talk about this, but George Bush read something about the Spanish flu and became hella interested in the topic, and it was holy shit, we got to start preparing for this. And then Obama actually kind of maintained some of that and actually continued some of it.
That's 100%.
He left him a playbook.
Yeah, it was at Bush. It was after 9/11. Bush became obsessed with the black swan emergency, that we don't, and that's an odd, unknowable event that occurs that we can't plan for and haven't planned for. And so he's the National Security Agency. They were addressing all of these random weird things that you don't think will happen in our lifetime, but they can occur. And if you're not ready,
that's why FEMA always has all these weird little fucking training activities and shit, because they're always you're why the fuck would you be training for that? Because it might fucking happen.
That's right. They use that as a weapon for disinformation against they said, oh, look, here's these people planning for a viral pandemic and months before. And it's that's their fucking job, you QAnon believing idiots.
They've always done it. Mm-hmm.
That's what we want them doing that.
But I do want to push back on what you were saying, Matt, about Trump's plan was actually good. It's not.
That was Michael. Michael said that.
Michael, whatever. Right? So it wasn't a good plan because he's saying this county shouldn't go on lockdown because they don't have enough cases. But
it was based on three factors. It was positivity rate, hospital capacity, healthcare facility capacity, and I forget what the third was, honestly. But those two alone,
But here's the thing. That's based off the assumption that you only have cases that are positive that you see. The fact that there's people that were carriers without symptoms, asymptomatic carriers. You got to lock the entire fucking thing down because you don't know where it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the third.
To be fair, because early on, this plan also assumes you have proper levels of testing and contact tracing, because this assumes you did everything on a proper timeline.
That was one of.
Since we didn't, but if you do what you're supposed to, there's 7 things you got to do, and if you do these 7 things, you're fine, and then you can do the lockdown properly targeted. We didn't accomplish any of the 7 things necessary.
Testing and tracing is has to be operating effectively for that to work. And then the other item was the overall level of positivity nationwide. If once you get over a certain percentage nationwide, you need to shut it down and stomp it out. And the goal of those other measures is to have a functioning society where you're keeping that spread low enough that it doesn't outburst. But that's why you're measuring too, because once it gets high enough, then it's no, we stomp it nationwide shutdown.
And that's the problem. That's why I supported 100% locking this entire fucking place down. Sure. No travel county to county, no travel state to state, no indoor bullshit, whatever. Lock this motherfucker down. We should have had more resources going to fucking Walmart and shit like that to pay people to deliver all their groceries.
Yeah.
There's no in and out traffic. You must order it online. If you can't, we'll get some fucking resources. That's what really hurt us the most. Gas station attendants, we should have hired people to fucking pump your gas for you. Don't get out of your fucking car. Don't touch the goddamn buttons. Don't touch the doorknob. Don't pick up the fucking Snickers, cough, and then put the motherfucker down. We should have done it proper because we didn't do anything else right. We did nothing else
right, bro. Not even any. We did zero of it. Dude, there was not enough testing, not enough contact tracing. We didn't shut down travel in time. We didn't have proper risk communication. We didn't really lock down. We didn't have proper mask use, right? Like, dude, there's literally not a single fucking thing we did right.
We were set up to fail before it even came into existence. Like, Trump killed like the stockpile of healthcare that he blames on Obama. He fucking got the report from the surgeon, like the auditor general, saying you need to replenish this, and he didn't want to do it. They ignored it. He killed the pandemic response team.
And the best part about all of this, dude, is these two and these are facts. Okay, right here I've determined. One's not really a fact, but our world and data showed the countries that took the harshest, most serious measures towards COVID early on had the lowest GDP decline.
Yep.
Yeah, because they corrected this shit up to, like New Zealand.
So it was never. So here's the thing: America, because everything we do starts at a logical deficit, because everything we do is a fucking false dichotomy. Literally everything, because we're just such a fucking stupid society. It's because it's literally any topic. It's this or that, this or that, this or that, and if it's this, then it's down on the fucking line, and if it's that, then it's down on the fucking line. Welcome to America, right? So the fundamental fucking issue here is like, dude, so many fundamental fucking issues.
Dude, well, it was greed, but it was stupid greed because they were greedy for the dollar today, even though they ended up costing them more fucking money by doing it wrong.
That's the
but
point.
They wanted it
was framed as public health or the economy when it was public health and the economy. Actually, they go hand in fucking
together. Yeah, but it wasn't about the money; it was about ego. 100%. Ego. This wasn't about money. It's about Trump saving face.
Trump, it was about ego. But
Yeah,
for
like
the oligarchy corporate interests that were backing this, it was about money.
And for a lot of Republicans, it was about keeping businesses open.
But like for Trump personally, it was like, I don't want there to be a lot of testing because cases will make me look bad.
Yep.
Look at
that's where he.
And it was that simple, by the way.
How was there not an adult in the room to explain to him, like, if we catch the cases early enough, there will be no deaths, and the deaths are going to be what make you look bad.
That's what people don't like to admit, dude. It's not like Donald Trump wakes up in the morning like some fucking evil fucking genius mastermind. Like, how can I inflict as much harm as possible on them today? He wakes up thinking like that. Oh, gosh, I got to make sure I keep these poll numbers looking good because that's what matters for Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump's hungry. Let me go get a Diet Coke. Like, that's how he thinks because it's just hyper.
He's got an assistant that brings it to him.
It's a cheeseburger.
He had a button, by the way. He had a button. It was probably the best thing I ever saw. He did. He had a little button. Someone bring him a Diet Coke.
No shit.
So I was going to say,
the desk, the presidential desk.
Sometimes I think of things that I'm like, oh, I want to weigh in on this, and then like you guys keep talking, and then you pivot to a completely different thing. But just pretend for a second that Michael just said COVID was the #1 cause of death for cops. Okay. Yeah. I don't like the way that we don't think COVID is like a problem for children. Like that to me is so disturbing as us as a society. Like we have just failed as humans that we're not trying to protect our young. It is the 10th leading cause of death in children.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. I'm writing this.
And the you've heard over and over again that the science says it's safe opening schools. The science does not. I've looked into this, and the science is clear. Schools are like a huge factor in the spread, and children die. And your Republican lawmakers keep saying this over and over again to the point that many people in society believe them, that the science says it. They're lying. They're bold-faced fucking lying. It does not.
Well, it's not a first. You know? You just had that fucking dumbass Boebert, that goddamn bobblehead of a person, say that ever since they got rid of the mask mandate in Texas, we've had no deaths. What? No, there's been 5,000 deaths since then, actually. I was going to do a whole fucking video on TikTok about that alone. That dumb fucking ignorant person.
These ignoramuses just don't care. Like literally, and that's the point I'm at with some. Like I will talk to, and I'll try to make sense with any one of them. I give them the opportunity, but when they deny facts like that, like that's evidence, that's data, that's real. I can't have any. At that point, I'm done with them. Like I got nothing.
When it's reached a tipping point where enough of them operate like that, what do you do as a society? Because at that point, they're threatening the very fucking foundations of your society.
That's where we are. There's enough of them that they are threatening the foundations of our society, and they're just gonna believe bullshit. We have to feed them bullshit that steers them in a different direction.
That's why I feel conflicted, because like the good part of me is always like, no, we got to reach out, but there's a part of me that feels like, dude, we might not be able to reach out, and if we think we can keep doing this, they might take us fucking down with them. Because here's the reality, dude. Like, we didn't finish the job at the first Civil War, and now we're paying for it now. All right.
Well, and like that brings up to like the other thing that I put in our notes of things to talk about. So I believe it was yesterday or the day before, someone drove their car into one of the vaccination tents that they set up
in Tennessee.
And out of a protest, like it was their, like, I don't know if they were religious. I was going to say it was their like God-given, but whatever they felt as a patriot, what they needed to do was to like protest against
the
vaccine. And whatever they think the vaccine
MAGA is a fucking death cult.
But they
MAGA is a death cult.
They're evangelical, because the base is the evangelical right. And as much as I'll play devil's advocate with you two fuckers with the atheism and all this jazz, right? We're all in the same camp. And these motherfuckers, their brand of religion is deadly. It's deadly, and they conflate it with government. They're not secular, right? That's why they say my God-given right. You don't have a God-given right that means shit here in America, motherfucker. We're secular.
They believe that
they think it's in the Constitution. They would say, yeah, by constitutionally God-given. God's not mentioned in the Constitution, dipshit.
They believe that the United States is a Christian nation that was birthed by God's intention, and He is divinely intervening in our affairs on a daily basis. Go listen to the preachers of evangelical movements, and that's what they're saying.
But like, in other words, like they're like, I don't need to get the vaccine because if it's my time to go, like if that's what God wants, like that's the same kind of mentality that people don't wear their seatbelts because if God wants them to die in a car accident, like it wouldn't matter. Yep. But I'm like, what if, and I'm not a religious person, so like I apologize if this is offensive, but like what if the vaccine is what God is giving you so you don't have to die? Like, why don't, like, we need to change the narrative on their level.
One of their stories, like the person who keeps saying no to opportunities handed out to them because God's going to save me. And then it was like, he gets to God, I was like, yo, why didn't you fucking say yes to like that person offering your help? Because I thought you were going to save me. I tried to. I sent them. You said no.
Yeah, isn't there, like, is that not one of the spiels where he comes in different forms? Like, I don't know. I'm not like a religious person, but I'm like, I'm thinking the vaccine is him in a form trying to save.
If you're a very religious person, you have a high capacity for cognitive dissonance already. And so they're capable. That's the problem with it.
That's where you go too far, my dude.
No, it's the truth. I don't care. Like, that is the fucking truth that people don't want to hear it, but that is real.
Because that implies that your worldview is inherently more structurally sound. Therefore, you don't have to.
It is because my worldview is malleable by the data and evidence, and that's the difference. And so, my worldview is structurally more sound than theirs, which is based on fairy tales and bullshit. I look at the data and evidence, and I change my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I admit it, but it's based on evidence. Theirs is on a belief in something that you can't measure. You can't repeat. You can't test. It's just a concept, and that teaches that.
You're proving my point, though, Michael. You're proving my point that like they have this belief, right? So what I'm saying is change the narrative for them and say, you should believe that the vaccine is God's way of protecting you.
I agree with that.
But, okay, I know what here's the problem though. If Trump would have run re-election, it would have been God's intervention with the thing. So it doesn't fit their narrative. They pull the old fucking hi-ya ninja bullshit gymnastics. And they say, fuck it. That's the devil because Biden's the fucking devil.
Correct.
Blah, 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 blah.
Well, and like so much of this is going to be problematic because like when they actually make it where we can vaccinate children of all ages, like the school systems will require vaccination records. They already do for things like polio. Like you don't think they're going to not do it for things like COVID when we're still like just at the tail end of a global pandemic.
And how shitty of it do you think of your teachers that have to go stand in front of all of these kids and you're like, no, I don't think the kids should be vaccinated.
That's
like
the point. Look at how. Okay, so to Shai's point, look at how we treat in this country in the last year. It shows you what you value as a people, right? Look at how we treated our teachers. Look at how we treated our children, and look at how we treated our elderly. Look at how we treated our immunocompromised. Look at how we treated our homeless. Look at how we treated those who are impoverished.
We're shit. We have
We
shit
are
for ethics in this country.
trash. We are,
We
as a
don't care.
collective, trash. As a collective, we are trash.
Individuals, like I think everyone on this stream cares, but as a collective nation, we don't treat the youngest and the oldest and the most vulnerable with any degree of compassion or empathy. And that's fuck us for that. We deserve what we get. When we elect shit politicians, we elected them. We knew Rick Scott in Florida was guilty of the larger 1.7 billion.
But the most vulnerable people don't deserve it.
No, they
That's
don't.
the problem. The we includes them, and that's the problem with this whole thing.
Yep.
Is we includes all the people.
Collectives go down together and they rise together.
Yep.
No one gets to escape. That's the problem. Whether we recognize it or not, no one escapes the responsibility of it, because everyone does play their part to some degree. Some play a bigger part, some play a smaller part.
That's why I don't like this whole idea that some intellectuals have put forward of leaving social media, abandoning social media. So you get the smartest people like recognizing the problems with it and abandoning it. They're still impacted by it, because when they leave, the void is filled with the toxic disinformation bullshit, and their lives are impacted because society lurches that direction.
Yeah.
They need to re-engage.
Well, I want to actually go back to this map, though, that kind of shows the successes and failures in this country. So we have Vermont, 70%.
Wow.
Vaccinated, at least one shot. Massachusetts, DC, Florida. Then there's the low ones: Mississippi, Louisiana, fucking what is this? Wyoming and Idaho. 0 fucks given.
Louisiana, 35%.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's all the deep south, and like I'm not going to sit there and like just throw the entire population under the bus, because I'm like, their leadership is abhorrent. Their leadership is abhorrent. Like, no wonder those people aren't getting vaccines.
Yeah, so all these numbers, all this color is between 30 under 40%. All that. This is the anus of the America.
And if you break that number down of who's unvaccinated and who's likely to not ever get vaccinated, it's Republicans, it's religious evangelicals. Those are the evangelicals percentages.
No one's gonna like this. No one's gonna like this take, but there's one other group too. Certain people of color. And here's the thing. There's a reason we have to. This is where I like to say that nuance matters. We have to look at why the skepticism exists.
It's
right?
legitimate in their community because the U.S. government has done them wrong with vaccines.
Yeah, they've sterilized an entire population.
And it's so if I would speak to that community for 1 minute and say, I understand the skepticism, but look at where they're placing the mass vaccination sites when they have those around the country. They put them in the wealthy white neighborhoods. So if you have a doubt that this is a thing that you should take, that should end it, because they showed you their hand. They put them things in the white rich neighborhoods to protect their own. Go get your fucking vaccine. Anyways, that's my pitch on that. But
the government has earned skepticism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, historically, since 1976, you had the one where 480 people, I think it was, got Guillain-Barré after their vaccine. It was kind of rushed. But there's no clear evidence on that, right? It's just suspicion of Guillain-Barré, which is a neurological disease that it kind of acts like MS a little bit, where it affects your extremities, the lower part of your spinal cord, and works its way up to your central nervous or your thoracic vertebrae, and then gets to your lungs and you suffocate and die. But yeah, there's that happened. But I mean,
this country deserves it since 1792, when the founding fathers who gave us freedom punted on the worst fucking version of slavery in the world.
The industrial slave complex, aka jail.
Chattel slavery, bro. The way we did slavery here in America was uniquely fucking horrific. So yeah, and here's the thing, like we wrote that into our Constitution. So This country's always been fucked up and untrustworthy.
Not just that, but misogynistic at the umpteenth degree, where women were not included.
That's
Period.
That's something to hit on, because there's this reverence shown to the Constitution, and it was not with this document that was without fault, and we don't discuss the faults that were in there.
Yeah,
we are a deeply indoctrinated motherfucking society, dude. There are countries that change their constitutions, they rewrite them. Dude, we are deeply fucking indoctrinated to the conservative traditional mindset here.
Yep.
I think there's a country right now in Central America is rewriting their entire fucking constitution. I think it's Colombia.
Good for them.
Or Argentina, I think. But
Argentina had the protest not too long ago.
And they're rewriting their entire system from scratch. They're only keeping the good parts they like, and they're going to fix the shit and make a new one. And I'm very, very interested. And I think it's Argentina.
Good.
That'd be interesting. But the thing is, again, people don't understand. Women have only been voting for 100 years. That's one person ago.
That's false. White women have been voting for 100 years. Not all women in America.
That's very fucking true. Thank you. That's actually very fucking true. And so, yes, the women's suffrage movement was 100 years ago. It doesn't represent all women, but nonetheless. But that's why women weren't included in the Constitution. All men are created equal. It says that for a reason.
Except for black men.
Well, yeah, they weren't considered men. They were considered property. They weren't even considered.
Boom. And you just hit it right there. They were considered property. And what is the biggest thing that half this country is always fucking screaming about? Property, private property, this, property, that, property, this. That's why motherfuckers give more of a shit about motherfucking Target than they do about a man getting fucking modern day lynched by the cops. Because capitalism and the fucking sick obsession with property. Fuck capitalism.
Capitalism is the fucking evil, and people are that's when I was at the minor league game the other night, and they did the national anthem, and they had everyone felt obligated to stand up, put their hand over their heart, and watch this man sing the national anthem. And they zoom in, and there's the logos of the corporate. Boeing was right underneath his fucking face, his picture. And I've been studying up on fascism after this last year and what it means and what it would look like in America. Guess what, motherfuckers? We in it.
It looks
now. This is it. Like, you don't see it because you think it's normalized to you.
Been in it since 1945 for sure. Because I keep coming back to this, man. I'm gonna keep hitting this group because y'all are the smart people. So we all gotta fucking disseminate this message. Fascism has been defined by people in the know, all right, it's a little contentious, as the marriage of corporation and state.
Yep.
And what has operated America's decision-making since 1945? If you take political tests, oftentimes there's a question that'll be in there, like, is what's best for your economic interest or the person's economic interest what's best for the corporation, which ties your financial health to the corporation. And in a capitalistic system, your financial health dictates your health in general, right? Mm-hmm. So it's literally tying your well-being to a corporation's well-being. And a lot of people will say yes, because they tie corporations' well-being to business. And that's why we have this fixation with Wall Street. That's why Wall Street can be doing record highs, despite the fact that millions of people are fucking at risk of going like homeless and shit during the pandemic.
Jeff Bezos could give every Amazon employee $100,000 and still be as rich as he was before the pandemic. Yet our Congress right now is going to give his space company $10 billion after they lost a competitive bid contract to Elon Musk's company with NASA. They said, Jeff Bezos called him up and said, this isn't going to work. I lost. I came in second. I need that contract. And they said, okay, we're going to make NASA award 2 contracts. So he'll get his $10 billion. And you know who added that amendment? A Democratic senator. So Democrats, you got to own your shit too.
All of them.
Fuck the Democrats.
Here's something I'm thinking about next year when the school year starts. I'm considering what boxes have to be checked before I stand for the national anthem next year during school for these sporting events that my son's in.
I got you.
I'm a veteran, you know what I mean? And I'm like conflicted on that. So I'm considering what are my no-fly zones? What are my no-go zones? What can Biden and this country do to earn back my patriotism?
It would be
I'm really thinking
powerful if
about
when they call out with all veterans, or they single out veterans before a game and they rise, they called you out and you sat. Like, oh shit.
Let me show you guys something. You guys go ahead. I'll be right back. I'm gonna show you something.
Okay. They did that at the game I was at. Like, they were like, and everyone, each veteran had his name called. They stood up and people clapped. And like, what if you sat?
Well, that'd be powerful. First of all, coming from a veteran. Second, though, dude, like when this all started with Cap, I wasn't sure if I'd like kneel or not. I was like, and I said at one point, I was like, I'm not gonna kneel just because people want me to kneel either. I was like, that flag means something to me specifically too.
Mm-hmm.
But I've reached the point where it's like, I can't kneel for a flag that I know that there's some people who see that thing and that represents their dead child in a drone strike. For some people, that represents, police brutality, right? For some people, that represents a history of mistreatment and oppression, et cetera. It's like, and those things aren't fixed. So I can't, no matter how much that flag might represent some good things for me, that flag also represents a country that ended democracy in my dad's country, right? So it's like, I can't stand for that thing, man. Not until all that shit's
when I'm in a beer line at the stadium and it's like 20 deep with 5+ lines, and everyone's like sloshed waiting for the game to start, and then everyone has to pause and turn when that starts, and I go, the hypocrisy of all this. Like, no one here gives a fuck about any of the problems in this country. The people, y'all all having a good time blowing $20 on a beer, but you're gonna stop and turn and why this charade? Like, let's just get our beers and keep it moving.
It's fucking done on purpose because you connect patriotism to beer, fun, fireworks, not to fucking life, but to the material fucking end of late stage capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a military jacket I got when I got deployed overseas. It's called a flight jacket. And it has my deployment and all the flags of all the countries I went to. It has the fucking emblem on the back, and it has Michigan, has all the countries I went to. It has my state flag, the U.S. flag, all kinds of other shit, right? I'm going to wear it to the fucking games every time I sit down and dare a motherfucker to say one peep to my ass, because I will fucking chew up. I'll chew their fucking face off.
Respect.
There's nothing they can do.
That's ballsy.
Especially as another veteran. I've had discussions with people in this area because we had a kid on the football team take a knee during the national anthem. People started fucking booing. And I had something to say, in the stands. I was like, you motherfuckers know how brave that kid is? Mm-hmm. He's a black kid in America. And he took a knee because he was that compelled. And you have no fucking respect for his freedom of choice to take a knee during his flag that sees him as a danger to society.
Yep. The same motherfuckers that boo him are the same ones that are bitching and crying about Target getting burnt down, but didn't post a single thing about fucking George Floyd or nothing. Like,
you listen to conversation, you won't listen to data, you won't listen to symbolic speech, you won't even listen to some levels of violence.
I'll offend you.
My natural progression there is to say, walk away. We can't because we all live here, which means one of us has to go. That's literally how this works, actually. Like, that's literally how it works in life. Like, people can dress up however the fuck they want, but that's how it works. Discussion based upon reason, logic, data. Once that's gone, shame, right? Once that's gone, walk away, punishment of some form. Once that's gone, it's force.
That's
Carl Jr. here. He says, I will pay for your ticket and please film. I won't have to film it, guys. Trust me.
It'll be filmed.
I think that'll be covered you'll be getting interview calls after that.
Because my daughter does sideline cheer during football season. She does competitive cheer during the winter. My son does basketball during the winter. And those are the three major sports they play. But basketball and football? Football, for sure.
For sure.
For sure. And I'll make sure I'll sit in the front fucking row. Let's be real. I will sit in the front. I will make a big fucking stink.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'm going to put on my military coat and sit down there, and they say the national, I'll put my head down. And they'll think I'm praying, but I'm not. I'm just staring at my feet probably,
Yeah.
But, I'm not going to look up that flag with any kind of reverence, and I'm not going to stand for their cult fucking movement of forced patriotism at a football game, a rec sport, a fucking game, entertainment. Look over here while we rob your ass. It's called smoke and mirrors. People's magicians is what they do.
They want to complain about players expressing a political view or using it as a political statement when they do it every fucking game. That is how you open it up, is by they associate their sport with the fucking flag to drive fucking attendance and drive revenue. And so, and everyone's okay with you going along with that, and unless you speak counter to their message, then they got a fucking problem with you.
Then here's the thing too. I have to talk to my kids about this because I'm a reflection of them and they're a reflection of me. So I gotta make sure I'm not putting my kids in harm's way by doing this.
Yeah.
So it's a lot for me to consider.
Sure.
But I might go to where my kids aren't even in the sport.
You could catch a lot of shit for it, like for sure. Like,
I'm fuck that. I'm good with that. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. But even family, I
don't care.
Yeah.
I don't need none of these motherfuckers. I got my kids. Shit. I got a job. They can't fire me for fucking doing shit off the clock. They can question me. They fire me good. I'll see you in court, dude. I'm gonna get paid, bro.
I saw this video earlier of a dude that was basically he opens up the video with, "I've sued every company I worked for." You saw that?
Yes.
What was your take on that? Because it can go several ways, and
it's disgusting and it's hilarious all at the same time.
Matt, did you see that one? So basically it's he's a black dude, and he opens up the video with has sued every job that he's been at.
No. They start out with the questions. Have you ever worked a 9-to-5 job?
Yeah.
Because of course I've sued everyone I've worked for. And he talks about his whole technique.
Yeah. So he said that he educated himself on employment rights. And so he seeks out jobs where he knows they treating people wrong. And he goes in, and maybe it's sexism, maybe it's racism, maybe it's dangerous work conditions, whatever. He goes in there. If it's dangerous work conditions, he puts a call into OSHA, right? He starts mouthing off about the conditions. OSHA comes in. They know someone called. He speaks up. "I'm the motherfucker that called. I'm the motherfucker. Come at me. I called them." And that pisses them off, the managers off, to the point that they will retaliate. And he says, "That's when I sue him for $10K. I get 10. That's when I take him for $10K.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant, and I'm cool with it.
I'm cool with it too. Like, I wasn't cool with it till he got to the end, and then I was like, "Oh shit, he's fucking." That's how you make a company change their culture. Is you lose. One of the big one was 40,000 he got out of a business, and
that's it right there. Because again, in a financial system, there's this thing like, contracts. There's no honor here. You can just buy, if you have enough money, you can just buy yourself out of a fucking contract. I don't mean shit.
Yep.
Enough money. Contract is jack diddly fucking shit if you got enough money. Doesn't mean
Texas outlaws abortions. The rich will still get their abortions, people.
Yes.
They're gonna get when they want that, they will get it, and you won't. The laws are for you, not them.
Well, think about this too. When that guy talks about that, here's the beauty about the employment system. It's illegal to give a bad reference. Think about that. So if I list you three as my references, and I have shit on all three of you people at my jobs, you're my previous employers, it's illegal for them to say, "Don't hire him." They have roundabout ways of getting around it, but it's illegal.
They have the HR has a special lingo.
That's right. And they'll say, "Would you hire this person again?" You can say yes or no.
He's not eligible for rehire. Is I think the term.
Well, they'll say, "I will never rehire him, but good luck to you," and they'll leave it at that. But they cannot give they can't say what they did to fire you for. They can say fired for attendance or whatever, right? But they can't say anything outside. There's very serious legal ramifications if they get caught. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I've always given glowing references, even for people that were sleeping on the job and stuff. I don't care. You call me. Put my name down if you need work, and put me down as a reference. I'll say whatever you need me to say.
Glowing reviews.
Yeah. He was great, amazing employee. Dude, he was always great to work with.
last point I'd like to add to this kind of funny story, but there's something here that actually matters. Is a lot of times that's exactly how our rights get expanded. Is actually by people challenging something that's being done illegally, and then it goes to the courts, right? Kind of goes on up to the point where typically it gets goes to the Supreme Court, and then through then it gets established. Like so, for example, like flag burning is a constitutional right. That's not written into the Constitution. That's because some motherfucker eventually fucking burned their flag, got arrested for it, said, no, this should be my right based upon the Constitution, and won his court case in court, and was established as a court case. So when people do these things, it's kind of funny, but pushing the lines is how we see where our legal rights actually are, and oftentimes it's how we actually explore and maintain and establish our legal rights. So,
yeah, well, I think we're off topic. That's for damn sure. But
it's a tough group here to keep
I don't know.
on topic.
I don't know. You guys were talking about suing former employers, and I was like, interesting.
COVID. But no, don't worry. Our legislators have protected the corporates. That's okay. They've already protected. That's the first thing they did. Think about it. The first package they put through with Donald Trump's included that protection.
Not just did it include it, it was contingent upon it. Them agreeing to anything was contingent upon that being there.
Yeah, that's what the turtle said. What's his name? Moscow Mitch.
Mitch McConnell, the sickest piece of shit in American politics, because Donald Trump might have had the most impact on the movement, but Mitch McConnell had the most power, and he sold his motherfucking soul for some court, for some judges, dude. Fuck Mitch McConnell.
And he got a Russian company to build a place and employ people in Kentucky.
He knows what the fuck he did. He knows what the fuck he's doing right now.
The GOP is a Russian black op.
McCarthy, yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
A Russian black op with fucking like radical terrorist elements attached to them. The GOPs are Hamas. How about that? That'll piss them off.
Ooh. Okay, I'm writing more shit down. Thank you. I'm gonna play that idea. Like I always tell people, we are terrorists in other countries.
Bro, yeah. MAGA is American ISIS.
I've been MAGA is difficult. Like I literally
Al-Qaeda, yeah.
I love that shit.
These motherfuckers don't care if you die, if your family dies, so long as they get to live life however they want without any consideration or concern for.
Bro, these motherfuckers don't give a shit about anything, even the shit they say they give a fuck about, right? So we give a fuck about cops, except for that January 6th investigation where 63 cops had concussions, 140 cops were attacked, and a few cops even fucking died. Not then though. We don't give a fuck. And not when
COVID was the leading cause of death. Like there's two. Like they don't like the hypocrisy is so fucking apparent, and
they're collective narcissists. Well, they are collective narcissists, and we got to put them down.
That's the problem. Is literally the way I see it. We're in danger zone, and we got to save this country from people. The average reading level in the United States is 7th to 8th grade fucking level.
Seventh grade, roughly. Yeah.
The average American's a turkey.
So when we're having our conversations and we're speaking about policies, the turkey don't understand what the fuck we're saying, people. The turkey just sitting there, gobble, 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 gobble.
Oh my god. It's like the dumbest bird ever.
Bro, they're not
That's Americans. That's the average American.
Well, the turkey was supposed to be the bird, not the bald eagle. That's why it's a funny fucking reference.
Oh god. We should replace. We can do that as some memes. We can replace the bald eagle with the turkey.
We see ourselves as a bald eagle, but really we had it right all along. We really were the turkey.
We were the turkey. That should have been the fucking bird. They picked the wrong one.
That's the meme right there. How America sees itself. How America really is.
That's great.
That's like the Obama-Trump reference that D.L. Hughley made on fucking Fox.
Hey man, that's what we have to be doing is making memes. We got to get in on memes like that. Memes that talk shit about capitalism and talk shit about the red, white, and blue.
Yep.
And promote the general strike.
There was a great meme idea.
And promote like ending homelessness, things of that nature. Yeah.
Yep. We need to communicate memes because that's honestly the level most people are getting their information from.
With no words that are over a 7th grade reading level.
It doesn't even have to really make sense. You just need to associate a policy idea with the flag and with patriotism and associate capitalism with bad things, and they'll absorb it. Like, it doesn't have to be rational. Like, go nuts. We need go nuts. People. Where's the kids at? Put the college kids onto this
shit, man. You need like 3 fucking people to just sit around making memes and just run this shit. It reminds me of the fucking one show, The Boys. Have you guys seen The Boys?
No.
It's I really, really recommend it because it mixes like what do you do if superheroes are dickheads with what do you do if superheroes are dickheads employed by a marketing agency.
That sounds interesting.
It is so fucking good, guys. It is by far one of my favorite. That one and the one where what's it called? Bright Sunbright or Bright Light or shit where Superman's a kid and he's mean. Starbright. Fuck off, boys. I can't remember what it's called, but it is really, really good. And my girlfriend hated it because she likes just standard, Marvel shit, Superman stuff. But this is like Starbright.
Superman's DC, but we hear you, man.
No, I had someone else was really high on that show recently too, and said I was missing out.
The Boys.
So I'm gonna have to check out The Boys.
Awesome. It is so fucking good, man. I watched this. Well, there's a character in there that she's like good at PR, and she makes a couple of very good quotes. I'm gonna write those down too. That reminds me. I got a nice little list of things to do this weekend. She makes a quote where she goes, because the main character wants everyone to like him. Kind of like Trump. This guy's a cape. It was like literally what Trump's memes will look like. It's him. This guy named Homelander. He wants 300 million people to like him and to love him. And she goes, you don't need 300 million people to like you. You don't even need half of them people like you. You need 1 million people angry. And I was like, oh, shit. And she showed him, I can make a meme that'll drive up your approval ratings with a meme culture, a meme, whatever, fucking underground people, like 6 people. And it made his numbers go up by 30% because of memes.
That's when Beto O'Rourke wrote his end of campaign season, like memo to the Democratic Party. He listed memes specifically as an area that the Democratic Party has neglected to even address, and they are getting their asses kicked on. He said it mattered down on the border, especially. Like the Republicans are using memes to drive messaging to their base, and the Democrats are not.
This is Nazi propaganda 101. They've done it. They demonized it. And not just, I'm just saying Nazi's the one that's most recognizable. They do it in Palestine and Israel. They're the same thing.
Propaganda is not negative. It's
the
just
Palestinian or the Israeli government understood how powerful it was used against them.
Single leadership structure in the world that has a hand in information utilizes propaganda to some extent.
Yep. And it can be good or bad, so long as it's truthful and reflective. But propaganda has a negative connotation in modern society, but it doesn't necessarily have to be negative. But we need to be thinking about writing propaganda that is at the 6th grade reading level. And
propaganda just means biased, essentially. And bias isn't inherently wrong. It can be very dangerous, very, 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 very dangerous.
Sure.
When weaponized, even, right? Because people weaponize ambiguity, bias things. But
you know what? Us as individuals, we have to every now and then question our own beliefs and our own thoughts and our positions, and ask yourself, are you on the right side of this? And if you are, and it's important enough, then there's some people on the other side that feel the same way. But if you come to that conclusion that you're on the right side, then you need to take up action to. Yeah. And that means disagreements, arguments,
Yeah, I think it's in a lot of our nature, just like us personally, just because like how we see the world and how we absorb, how our preferred absorption of information is to just be like, we should just load people up with facts. But like I saw a meme and it was like dominoes, and it had like the states that were swing states that ended up going to Biden, and it had Arizona, which is obviously like on everyone's radar because they're like, ooh, they're going to do this audit with the ninja, whatever the heck. And it was starting to fall. And then all the other states were like the next dominoes. And that was the meme. There was no source, there was no words. But like, so like if you see that and you just believe that it must be true because someone created it, you're like, oh, so this is how it starts. And like that's literally how like Robert, for example, talks. He's like, this is the beginning, this is how it starts. And I'm like, it validates what they're already saying. So I'm like, you have to think like that. So I don't know what the anti-domino thing is to help them understand. There's no, this isn't the beginning. It ended in November of last year. But if you can think of that image, Michael, that's the meme you need to make.
What you do is you take the images that they utilize that are real, you keep them to maintain like the little mental algorithm, but then you detour it. So it's not a complete 180. There's some level of triggering effect, but then you kind of re-trigger to something else, right? So maybe this is how it starts, right? So like, for example, they utilize, I'll give you a second here, my bad voice.
No, okay.
So like they do something, right? Like, and it's like showing like, it shows like kind of like things happening, then certain Democratic leaders, then Trump, and then him getting kind of suppressed, right? And then like him trying to fight through. So you keep aspects of that, right? But then what you do is you actually show the bullshit of what Trump's doing, right? So you do show the aspects that are true because there is some shit going on, right? But then you show how Trump's related to that shit that's going on, not the opposite. So you keep the beginning aspects, but I mean that's kind of tough to do. That's fucking time consuming as fuck. Just thinking about it.
I got an idea. This will really help wrap this motherfucker up. You make a meme with a domino, and all the states are gonna fall. Boo! You put the Constitution in between them, and it's over. You say the Constitution won't let this thing fall. Moving on. Next meme, bitches. Put the Constitution in there, and it constantly debunks every fucking meme they got. You just stick the Constitution in there. Just it's that simple.
Hold on, I have a Trump card.
You asshole. Go ahead.
No, that's the Trump card. Constitution. That is it.
Yeah. That's ironic to call it a Trump card too. Yeah. Or like have the Constitution with like a cutout of where that domino is, and it lands on top of it, and it punches out "We the People" on top of that domino or some shit.
Yep. It's the power of storytelling is the most powerful like
that quick
device there is.
The power of storytelling is what if we wrote the fucking story of Trump like the Messiah, but we just changed the fucking story towards like healthy, good ends. Like what if we just started writing Trump, we rewrite Trump's story, like what he wanted, what he like thinks, like what his goals are, like to a positive story. We retake his narrative.
Ooh, and start projecting into it that Trump was pro UBI. Trump was pro. Oh shit. That is next level thinking, but that might work because they're dumb. They don't read. So, and I'm serious about that. I've proven that I've done tests. They don't read, but we can inject that in. And then they have to either waste time defending that position, which is time they're not spending doing what they would normally be doing.
Which is passing along misinformation or disinformation, which might be the most corrosive fucking thing going on right now to free speech, which means it's the most corrosive thing going on to communication, which means it's the most corrosive thing going on towards accumulating information and sharing that, which means it's the most corrosive thing going on to decision making, which means it's the most corrosive thing going on to our government and our media, et cetera, so on and so forth. Hence, we're here today where we don't give a fuck about our kids and our elderly and all this shit.
Well, and you know, to that point, Trump wouldn't want the liberal states to have better general strikes. So if you're in a red state, you know, definitely double down on that staying home on July 1st.
Here's how you play with the Republican states. You know what? Fuck. I almost feels bad, but we don't promote it, but we don't feel like we're a part of the system because of the oligarchs. So let's show them the power of the silent majority on July 1st.
Stay home. Yeah, that's how you message to them.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, though, that is not an untruthful argument.
Nope.
We have a lot of ism battles in this country, and they're all valid. And I don't mean to take away from any of them, but the one that supersedes all of them is the classism battle. And
it's the race and class are tied into things because the country, the oligarchs realize we can't maintain labor the way we're doing things. So let's just elevate the shitty whites just a little bit, right? And then they'll look down on the people of color, and then since there's less of them, we can maintain that as our labor. And then over time, they just kept redressing it, and it gets harder and harder to redress.
Yeah, it's the final boss. When
Bro, like this whole we want immigrants? No, we want cheap labor.
that's really like the reason our immigration system is the way it is at the border is because it's exactly how they intend it to function.
Mm-hmm.
Both parties.
We're gonna fuck you up, and then we're gonna take your labor. Both actions feed us in a way.
Businesses love the illegal, cheap labor and their ability to exploit them. And they do not want the system changed because it brings enough people in to meet the demand, and they're vulnerable and susceptible to the pressure of exploitation. So it's cheap for them.
Capitalism likes vulnerable people within its system because then it can take advantage and keep doing what it does. Capitalism is a predator. It's a predatory system in and of itself. Because when you have as much as you have at this point in time that America does, and there's people with the outcomes that we have in this country, like when you got little kids who are doing little gimmicky fucking lemonade stands so they can fucking pay for healthcare because their insurance got denied, right? So that is by design. That's the country you fucking prop up, you all love. That's the country you guys rah, 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 red, white, and blue, your little jets over your fucking football games, the Rose Bowl and shit like that. That distracts you from the fact that you live in a predatory fucking system where people can't get education, people can't get fucking healthcare. People want these things, so they'll go fucking fight for the empire, right? And they come back fucking broken, mentally dejected, right? Can't get medication, can't get the healthcare they need, they end up on the fucking streets. And we say we love our veterans, but then we fucking mock the homeless, right? Who are the minors, again, who are the fucking mentally ill, who are the veterans. Like, we are a fucked up society. And then people are like, why are you mad? Why the fuck do you think I'm mad? You dumb.
And we need to inject that imagery and that narrative into their events. Like you were saying, like sitting down during the fucking anthem. That's where inject it, make them fucking deal with it.
A white male veteran. That'll fucking.
Veterans have respect. They have trust in this country. People trust veterans. Steven, that was a good little list of on public opinion and trust he showed us. That was valuable. That was valuable data for sure.
Okay, let's wrap this motherfucker up. We'll move on to the last one here. That's the 1 year later Amy.
What I wanted to talk about, the one I was passionate about.
let's get to that one. I'm gonna have to figure out how to punch this all together and make a fucking clip. I don't even know what to do with it, but I might make a whole separate clip off that whole different conversation we had.
We're probably so over time. Like,
so send me this bad boy so I can just post it to mine raw unedited. So
post it where?
I'm just gonna post to YouTube raw unedited. Just like, yo.
This will always exist. This whole thing. I don't take down our live streams.
No, I'm gonna start posting these to YouTube though when I'm on them. If you're cool with that.
Okay, put it wherever you want. I don't give a shit.
No.
This is our collective data. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think about that in the comment section while you're here. Go to kids. Of course, fuck. Damn it, Matt. You gotta fucking laugh. I just jumped into character right there. Michael?
You had me crying after the turkey comment because you started laughing. So I started laughing and I was like, shit.
Dude, when you said that, I was like, God damn, I don't know if half people fucking get why that's that damn funny. That is my favorite thing you said ever, just so you know, ever. We're fucking turkeys, man. Oh, I gotta stop. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, I don't know how I'm gonna fucking do this. All right. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Like always, yang gang. Good enough. Fuck it. Fucking. I see a turkey wearing a bald eagle costume for Halloween.
Yes.
That's like try to play it off.
What you do is okay, Matt or Michael. Here's a meme. Put a MAGA dipshit draped in a U.S. flag, like a skin tight, like Trump. Donald Trump in a Superman costume, right? That he has. I'm fucking ripped, and it's Donald Trump's fat fucking neck and orange shit drooling over it.
Yeah.
And you put a turkey in a fucking American eagle costume next to that motherfucker. MAGA.
Get it, MAGA?
Dude, man. Put a turkey in an eagle's, like a muscular bald eagle costume, dude. Come on, bro.
Write this down, dude.
Write that shit down.
I've got a notepad doc that I keep with meme ideas.
Dude, I've written down 2 pages of shit from today. I can't wait to do all this. Yep, good shit, man.
Yep, good shit.
I love it, man. Okay, so let's do the Amy Cooper one. Yes. Okay. Oh man, that turkey shit, man. I might lose sleep over this shit tonight. That is the imagery alone. Sorry.
I appreciate you people, by the way. Y'all are the 3 best things that have come from TikTok. I enjoyed it. We have good conversations. We got real.
No, I really, for real.
And we have more good company coming. Okay. The one lady circled back with me, Magnus something or other from Florida, and there's another guy,
Miss Mancuso.
Yes, she's doubling back with me, but there's another one on TikTok. Let me turn down the volume so you don't hear this shit.
Miss Rhodes.
No, he DM'd me. His name is Irish Orion. I mean .82. He has a lot of just MAGA troll like a motherfucker. I love it. And anti-vax troll. He just gets them with just simple logic. He's got a beard and long hair, and he's a Marine. He's a Marine. And he's hardcore, man. I like him. And so I actually he actually followed me and commented on my video about the whole fucking bullshit. So he liked that.
Dude, I got that Irish guy he said he wanted to have a debate. He's only got 2,000 followers. But if you look at his profile and watch his videos, this dude is a motherfucker character, dude.
The Irish guy I'm talking about? The Irish?
No, I think it's a different Irish guy. Like this one
I don't think this guy's Irish. Just so you know, he's an American, right? Like not nationality. He might be a white and Irish dude, but yeah, he's. Well, let me.
Wait, the guy that said he would debate you, Michael, is it the same guy that Boyce stitched?
This is the guy I'm talking about.
I don't know.
No, it's not that guy.
Yeah,
no.
This guy makes good.
It's not that guy.
This guy makes horrible content, but is awesome at the same time. Like,
you're a sick bastard, dude.
No, dude. This guy is interesting as fuck. Like I will argue with every point he believes, but
I know what you're talking about. The guy with like the raspy voice and the
older, he's like,
yeah. He commented back. Yeah, I'm down.
Did you tag me into one of those videos with him today?
I sent it to you because he agreed to debate, like have a discussion. He wanted it to be an intellectual conversation, though.
Respectful.
Yes, so I'm down with that. Like, because he's such a character. Like, I think people will be entertained by that.
Dude, that's the thing. If you have someone who's willing to play their character and it allows you easy fucking talking points to address the points, that's perfect, actually. That's why people are like, oh, like, the media is picking and choosing certain ones. Goddamn straight I am at this point now. There's certain ones. If I can find someone who's like kind of like, like receptive, I don't give a shit.
That's why I like my conversations with Robert up until the point that he just stopped. We broke him, and he said, I don't care about any facts at all. I just believe this because I do. And at that point, I don't have
That's when you say, you know what, I respect that. At least you admit that you're not operating in reality anymore. You're just operating in Robert land. And that's cool, dude. As long as you just admit that, we're good.
Yeah.
I'm in reality. You do Robert land. Have fun in Magistan, homie.
Although I still give him shit, though, because his stuff still crosses my feed. So I still call it out. I'm not going to stop.
His favorite line I ever heard was when he was talking to Shy, and he goes, "Yep, you got me on that one." And I was like, exhale. I was like, that had to be a jagged pill. Yep. You're right.
No, he was able to admit that a few times when I talked to him. I swear to God, it's in group settings, or when you like get him or when there's like people watching him. If you can talk to him one-on-one. Or if you can talk to him in a way that like he feels like comfortable, he's fine. It's when you put these fuckers on the defensive.
Yeah, it's when I think it's when they go away. I think it's because I've had him in our group conversations like start to like get on board, but he goes away to his wherever he gets his news from or whatever, and then he's reversed right back, and you talk to him again, and it's like there's no longitudinal thought there. Like he's like transported back to the beginning, and you're like,
10 hours of online interaction is not going to undo 30 years of programming.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
But what it might do is it might plant seeds in anyone who's listening there who's not completely been fucking taken to the tipping point in their own mind.
Yeah.
Which is why you're not ever having conversations with that person. You're trying to find people who are easy to broadcast, amplify, or even flip themselves, etc. But for whatever reason,
there are people looking at his videos, his content, and going, I don't know if I believe him or not. Those are the people that I want to get a rebuttal in front of. Because here's why.
Yeah. Well, either way, we're going to have some more people joining us here soon. Maybe not on our Thursdays, but we got some more people that are like-minded and motivated and ready to weaponize their words,
Let's make Mondays a thing too, man. Like to do like the Thursday night trickle up thing we usually do the articles, and then Monday's like a roundtable talk.
Mm-hmm. I like that last one we did last Thursday. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of great clips in that one, man. That was a lot of great clips.
Well, a lot of good topic areas. It's nice to get into the topics that aren't necessarily political, but some more philosophical, more like
which are actually political. They're just not like so overtly connected to politics, right? It's kind of the deeper ideas that drive all this shit behind it.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right, let's knock out this last one. Okay, we ready? Shy's been quiet for too fucking long.
Because she concedes space like a fucking good group member when we're all fucking going crazy. She's just nice like that.
And then she comes out with a fucking jackhammer. And she fucks it up.
There's some Shy. What do you think of that commentary? Do you think they're casting you as a I'm just looking out for you. Like, are they casting you in a certain way? Like
just say, be direct. Like, what are you saying?
I don't want to. I don't want to.
It's a jackhammer with a surgical knife glued to the end of it.
What do you think about that comparison? Like,
I don't know. It's not very direct, so I don't understand it. So I want you to explain it to me because you clearly do.
I don't know what I'm talking about right now.
You're just perpetuating my confusion.
Okay.
Okay.
My bad. I apologize.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But
we can move on.
Dude. That motherfucker's on his heels so quick with you, dude. It just kills me.
She burned me. I don't fuck with her no more. Like, I don't fuck with her no more. Like, I was trying to look out for her, but if it's gonna turn into me and her, then I'll just stop because I don't need to get beat up on another issue. Like,
there's a term in when you're playing a physical contact sport is your first reaction to step forward or to take a step back and be like, oh. And she's got you going, wait a minute.
If she steps forward, I'm stepping back.
Into the storm. Always into the storm. Always into the storm.
That's how I normally am. Unless I get beat too many times. Then I just see it. It's like I don't need that battle.
Mama said to make sure that's the hill you want to die on. And I said, problem is I want to die on every hill I ever see. So it's good advice, but not in the moment.
Bigger. All right, so bam, what up, Yang Gang? Welcome back to the Trickle Up. Of course, we still have Matt with Mute the Media, Michael with Resist for Humanity, and Shy is running point at this angle here. Shy for UBI. So what do you got on us? Fuck you, boys. Okay, Turkey. So what do you got on the low for us tonight, Shy?
So we're going to talk about how it's been 1 year since the Central Park Karen, Amy Cooper, basically didn't like that someone pointed out that her dog was supposed to be on a leash, so she endangered his life. I don't even know where to begin on like how upsetting this story is, and the fact that like she never did jail time to me is just like a failure on our society for not having accountability for something that's super dangerous.
Yeah, she threatened his life by weaponizing the police.
Well, and to that end, not only part of the reason charges were dropped because she went to training and things of that nature, and then now what's she doing? After all of this, what is she doing? She's doubling down on her behavior, right? So she can get bent, she's
not even acknowledging that anything is wrong because she's like, I shouldn't have been terminated, and the fact that I was terminated was because I'm a white woman, and I'm just like, wow, I don't even know where to begin with that flawed logic.
She's suing for stress, emotional damages, things of all this nature.
She called her former employer saying that it was they are being racist, implying that her race is Caucasian, so she's implying it's because she's white, and they're attacking her because of her gender. So she's literally saying it's because I'm a white woman. the one of the least oppressed individuals in America is like, this happened to me because of my race and gender.
And she's on film committing
She literally tried to weaponize her race and gender. Right, because we all know what happens historically in this country. Like you guys both alluded to the black man who gets pointed at by the white woman. He did it. He did this. That doesn't end well for them.
I feel
No,
threatened.
it doesn't.
Like, it's not even subtle. If you watch the tape, she literally like cowers in fear as she's talking to the 911 operator, and the person is doing nothing.
It changes too. It's calculated because at first she says, "I'm going to call the cops." Then when it's not having the desired reaction, she ups it. Then with the 911, then she starts, "Oh, I'm under attack." Then she really starts to sell it, and every time, and then
She starts screaming.
And the dog, dude, the goddamn dog. She's choking out her own damn dog.
Yeah, you know, and I want to comment on that too, because I hate to say it, but I really don't think that video goes viral in America because we're just an awful country. Except for people who were like obsessed with the fact that she was hurting her dog, and that's gross.
The big outcome. The only person who really got justice in that situation was the dog.
Did she lose a dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the reason it went viral.
America can get
That's
justice
with the dog,
but you know, a fucking racist ass Karen who tries to fucking weaponize the police and weaponize her race and gender. No fucking justice for him. She
literally declared, "I'm going to call the cops and tell them that an African-American man is threatening me." Like, she went out of her way to point out to this gentleman, like, "Hey, I've got this over you." And they're going to take my word that, like, oh, that means danger.
That is the weaponized white supremacy. That is weaponized white supremacy. One more time for the people in the back. That is weaponized white supremacy. And now she's suing, saying that she's being targeted for race. This is what they do. They project. Anytime these motherfuckers are saying something, I promise you, they're accusing themselves, and it's the opposite of what they say.
I've got an anonymous story of an incident that happened locally with some high school kids, and they were two white high school kids that were wealthy from wealthy families, and they had one black kid that was from a lower economic class, and they got pulled over, and there was a bunch of marijuana in the car. It all went on him, the black kid. The two white kids, no, they went on their way. He got charged with all of it, and distribution and all that stuff.
I got a number on this for you. I just looked
there all the time.
I might be slightly off on this, but if you look at the rate, and this is from Bureau of Justice, U.S. Census, and Department of Health and Human Services. I might be slightly off, but it's about this. If you look at the rate of smoking marijuana amongst white and black people, 17.8% for the black community, 16.5% for the white community, yet black people in America are 3.64 times more likely to be arrested and charged for possession of marijuana.
And not just that, prosecuted, jailed, criminal record, unemployable.
Yep.
We know it comes with drug charges in this country, how that impacts loans, which then impacts home ownership rates, right? So
everything
down the line. What happens? You get plucked out of your community, right? So your community just lost some fucking representation, right, in the census count. And where'd you go? Well, what do you fucking know? You went to a fucking jail where slave labor is still fucking allowed because the 13th Amendment doesn't apply to fucking people who've been charged with crimes, right? And now you count for good old white county and their census. And what do you know? Now you're going towards their representation. Modern fucking 3/5.
And you can't vote because you're in prison.
And you lost the right to vote. It serves dual purposes, and it's fucking sick. And this country's knows nothing about it for the most part.
That's why our protests have to be stay home. The laws, they've been changing the laws state by state so that they can arrest you on a felony for protesting. And that means you're not voting. So they're going to tempt you and lure you out into the streets to protest, and then they're going to sweep your asses up.
Which is why if we want to street protest, we have to get armed and utilize the Second Amendment for ourselves because they will not fuck with armed protesters. That is a fucking fact of life. They shoot down. They don't shoot horizontally.
Yep. If you got a knife, if you have no weapons and you're coming at a cop, they're going to use a taser on you at a minimum. If you got a knife, they're going to shoot your ass dead.
If you got a gun, they're not going to do shit because you can shoot back. And that's what people won't want to acknowledge. These white protesters, the militia groups that don't get fucked on, it's not because they're white necessarily. That's an aspect of it. Don't get me twisted. But it's because they have fucking guns and they're armed. All right. There's a reason why. Why do you think the same generation that killed Martin Luther King and then hyped him up fucking disparages the Black Panthers so hard? Because they were armed. Because that's the real fucking threat to the system. Motherfuckers who utilize their Second Amendment right.
Think about this. There was no like California didn't have any gun laws until the Black Panthers.
Yep.
Zero.
There's a large percentage of leftists that believe in the Second Amendment and have weapons. It's there's a misrepresentation or a belief on the right that Democrats don't own weapons. They're fucking wrong. Like
it's 10% less. It's like, yeah, there's more ownership on the right, but there's plenty of guns on the left, baby, and plenty of us over here who like to throw hands. So
that's just the ones that are registered, guys. Let's talk about the real threat. There's a fuck ton of weapons out there that are not registered. They're not even sure they exist.
Guns in this country, bro.
More than people.
Yep.
So we have this Amy Cooper who doesn't need a weapon. You're the cops. You're her weapon.
The original slave catchers, right?
Right. And so we have her anniversary, whatever the fuck you want to call this bullshit. But George Floyd, was murdered a little over a year ago now.
Yeah, this happened on the same day.
Oh, this did?
Yeah. Yeah, this incident happened the same day.
Oh, my God. I didn't realize that.
So the same day, a black man was lynched for about 9 minutes by a cop. A white woman tried to utilize them as a threat towards a black man.
Because she didn't like that he pointed out that the dog needed to be on the leash. Yeah, in an area where the dog needed to be on the leash. And I'm a big advocate for I don't know what the PC word is here, but I don't think we treat the incarcerated like humans, and I think that's wrong. And I think that there's no reform, and it should all be about reform. And I think people should be able, once they're back in society, be able to reboot their lives, if they are truly reformed. With the exception of people like murderers and rapists and insurrectionists. I don't have any empathy for them. I'm sorry. But I think she should have done time, because now there's no accountability for weaponizing the police.
No, exactly. I agree.
Precedent's being set.
But that's how this country operates, dude. So our outgoing president just tried to fucking incite insurrection. What's happened to him?
Yeah.
They don't even want to have a fucking commission into it, right?
Oh, they're freaking out about that. Well, they'll not want more investigations.
And because, they're going to get found out. That's the thing. They know. The Justice Department is doing their thing, and a lot of what they uncover is not going to be public record unless it goes to trial, and they can't do that unless they have a very high degree,
we need hackers.
Again, free Snowden, free Assange.
Not my buddy Corey, who I want to have on here. My buddy Corey says bullet Snowden.
Fuck that.
How can you be, as a society, say we are pro-human, pro-life, the human existence, and have capital punishment at the same time?
Because if you're pro-existence and someone threatens to kill millions of people, for example, you justify in killing that person.
No, not if you've got him. If you've arrested him and you have him in captivity, and he does not pose a threat to anyone else. I don't care if he still has intentions or not. You've got him where he's not going to harm anyone else. You don't kill him, because if you do, your entire societal structure is based on a lie that you value life. Because you don't. My
question to you is, and this is a harsh one, but how would you react towards someone who, if they killed someone you loved, would you?
I would probably be a hypocrite in that instance, because it's so personal to me. But when I think about it from a not direct personal, but from a more what I think is a better place, is more. I don't think it's the right thing to do, because it's if you value human life, you can't have state-sanctioned killings.
I agree, by the way. I agree. My thing is, I know exactly what the fuck I would do to someone who harmed my mom, my dad, or my sister. And
Believe me,
leave them in different parts of the world.
I
don't agree with that. I said it's fundamentally wrong, but I would do it. So it's like
I'm 100% with you there. If something happened to one of my kids, it would be bad news.
But I believe, I believe in this penalty personally.
I'm a hypocrite in that instance. I know, but the better option as a society is we can't make a decision based upon a individual response like that. We have to think better as a society and say, no, we shouldn't have state sanctioned like killings ever.
Well, we have Carl Jr. here saying, wait, stop. Snowden was a traitor and did a treacherous thing. He is not included. I call bullshit on that.
That's what some people argue is some of the information dropped did put Americans in harm's way. Americans had nothing dropped.
The fact that he didn't drop it, he was the hacker.
No, he dropped it. No, he dropped the information. He didn't have.
It was like he didn't perform. Let me rephrase that. He didn't actively break the crime by hacking it.
Yeah, he had access to the information. He gave it away.
Right. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, they're saying he committed a crime by releasing this information.
He committed a crime by breaching. It's not his information to give away. It's classified shit he gave up. Like, there's definitely crimes he committed in that sense. The question here is for people like me and you and all of us here is the crimes committed more of like letter of the law type of crimes, or was it also in keeping with like the spirit of the law? I would argue that given the information he put out there, he might have broken a law, but he wasn't acting like against the spirit of the law. He's trying to do something right, I think, right? Something moral.
I would have done the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but there is an argument to be made.
There's a missing variable here, though. There's a missing variable because the guy that Matt is referring to claims there's things that the public doesn't know about that this guy is privy to, and that's where his comment comes from.
Background and intelligence, to be fair, and so he's like, there's just things that are like I can't comment on that, we can't comment on it. Like if you fully knew, it would change the scope of, because he said his argument is if he just dropped information contained to the spying program, cool, fair enough. But there was other things that were dropped that put people in harm's way, had nothing to do with that program.
Yeah, I agree. I know there are some things in there fucked up as far as foreign assets, right? Stuff like that if this would have gotten out to the wrong people, those people have been fucking executed.
It did get out to the wrong people.
Well, I'm just saying those people weren't executed. It had a near miss in this situation. It got lucky.
It's tough to be in his shoes and make that move and do it exactly correct.
There's no right way to do it.
It's possible to do it, and there's no pure way to do that.
But regardless, it's not appropriate for the U.S. government to execute him. Regardless of that variable that the person that Matt's talking about is not able to comment on, it's still completely inappropriate to execute him.
Put him in prison for life if you need to.
At this point in time, if you couldn't guarantee you could get to him, but you knew that not capturing him could lead to more people's deaths if he got away, you can fucking kill someone.
Anytime someone's a threat and threatens new lives, then we need to be going after them and hopefully capturing them. But if killing them, it prevents the loss of more life, then yes, that's the lesser of two evils. But once you get them, though,
the argument some people make against Snowden. So,
and then there's Assange,
to me, he's a less sympathetic figure to me than Snowden.
How so?
Just seems sketchier. It's really just like vibes I get when I listen to Snowden. I might disagree with a few things. I'm cool with Snowden myself. I'm
100% on board with Snowden just because
I'm 100% on board, but I'm 90% on board with Snowden.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not. I still don't like the fact that he endangered some assets. People are just doing their job, even if it's a fucked up job. It's still their job. But yeah, I still like the idea of him coming back to this country as a free man to be held in court and serve for things he's punished for the things that he did, but not executed for espionage. Bullshit.
He has to know that if he comes back, he's a dead man.
He doesn't get a civil court, does he?
I don't think
even
so.
If he was off, even if he was off,
if he comes back, he's not getting a fair trial because he said he would come back if he thought he'd get a fair trial.
Which means he'll never come back.
Even if he got off in trial, there would be an accident that happened to him.
That's literally what my guy was saying. My guy was saying, "Don't worry, the U.S. government is determined. They want his ass eliminated.
Suicide body count."
They would take it would be one of those. He fell down the stairs and shot himself twice in the head.
No one's gonna. It's probably happen. Yeah.
I mean, the government totally does do this. We've got evidence of that throughout history. They act in very bad ways towards our own people sometimes.
Who killed Martin Luther King? FBI.
I don't. Yeah, there's some evidence pointing in that direction. Yeah, I'm not up to speed on it enough to say for certain, but the evidence, it points that way, and it fits a pattern at the time.
So Carl Jr. says, any real American would rather be in prison than be in Russia. I call bullshit on this once again. The term real American is a fucking joke. That's just that's a dismissal. I automatically dismiss that statement.
That's good. There was something wrong about that. Couldn't put my finger on it, but
a real American is someone who predates America, who predates the USA. They're the indigenous. That's a real American.
Well, everyone on this side of the world, North America, South America,
South America, the Americans.
But if you want to talk about the American spirit of the United States of American spirit, it's the real American's the one that burns the flag.
Facts.
And exposes the bullshit, man. That's what
are we burning July 4th? Should we just start with the Confederate flag maybe on July 4th? Let's burn this fucking traitor flag.
I got a plan. I can say it because they won't watch. Here's how I would do it. I would say hype up. We're gonna burn the American flag, get people pissed off, and then instead of that, we burn the Confederate flag. And then when that's done, we go, but we're not done yet. And then you burn the American flag. And then you burn the Bible.
What if you don't want to attach this to the strike because that becomes
no, it's not attached to the strike.
I'm saying timing wise. Like whenever there's a strike, it's 3 days later. The strike's on July 1st, July 4th. Be like, hey, then the next time is going to be Labor Day.
Timing's a big.
I know it is. That flag has to burn. That flag has to burn. And I think the Bible has to burn at some point too, man. Because, dude, Christianity is just not good.
It's not. Christian nationalism is the greatest domestic threat we face. And I think it's greater than any international threat we face.
All Abrahamic religions are dangerous.
I'm not going to say all.
American Christian nationalism is unique.
I'm not going to.
Danger here in this country, but worldwide is bad.
I'm not going to condemn other religions which have been just fucking trying to fight back against the Christian onslaught. I don't know what their religions look like if left alone. So I'm not going to condemn people who've been fighting against those who try to convert them.
Well, okay. Let me put it in today's terms then. Israel is doing some atrocities, right?
Yep.
Apartheid state. Now, if we didn't protect them, they'd be wiped out by the local Muslims. They'd wipe them out of the fucking planet, right? That's danger to the world. And then there's, of course, fucking Christianity that wants to wipe everybody else out on the fucking world. All three Abrahamic religions are a death cult. They want to exterminate the others.
Yeah,
to their own extremes.
100% agree.
No, because you guys, this is ahistorical. If you look at
I'm talking today.
Yeah, but exactly. So am I. Mm-hmm. So if you look at the timeline of human history, which we'll relate back to today, religion is very prevalent still, right? Even though we know that religion is slowly losing its grip on societies across the world, right? More and more people are kind of becoming more non-affiliated, outright just not religious, etc. Right? But with that being said, if you look at human history, like hunter-gatherer times, etc., we are way less violent than we've ever been at any point in time. And there was times where we didn't these three Abrahamic, the big three, have not always been around, and these are actually relatively recent. So you guys are going to have to accept the fact that religion is fucking overall terrible, and is not the fucking central pivotal reason for human fucking peace and violence and stuff.
Religion is the fundamental problem with society because of its lack of logic and evidence-based narratives and the delusional thinking it implants in people so that they're susceptible to this other bullshit out there. Look at the correlation between belief in conspiracy theories and evangelicals.
Yeah, but that assumes that conspiracy theories are the biggest fucking threat to society.
No, it's the belief in disinformation is the biggest threat. Is disinformation, and it comes from fucking religion is where it starts.
So here's the thing, though. There's lots of ways to gauge a society's health, and all I'm saying is society has gotten healthier while religion's been around. And so I would argue that the things that are plaguing us and causing some things to kind of turn around and get worse, juxtaposed the historic timeline, probably isn't religion, considering religion's like also going away, unless you want to say it's religion trying to make its last stand in certain pockets or something. But I would argue that those are just religious fucks who don't actually follow religion.
They infiltrate our entire government from local level to all the way up to the highest offices. This is a cult that is in our political government that is making laws to reinforce their cult and their hold on power.
But man, I want to push back on that just a little bit, because you're assuming that like you have no idea what our society would look like if it wasn't there. Like, how do you know the society wouldn't be even better if it wasn't there?
I mean, that's why I just argued like with Islam, for example, and all that. Like, because that's the same argument I made with them, right? It's like we don't know what they look like if we didn't have fucking white Christianity fucking trying to take them out, right? So it's the same argument. I'll concede that 100%. Fair.
But here's my thing: is when it becomes a totalitarian.
Yeah, anything that becomes like that's dangerous, and it's not just religion that does that.
Yeah, but I'm very specific about religion in this regard. I'm not just an atheist; I'm anti-theist.
That's a good word, because I don't like the word atheist, but anti-theist is correct. Like that's
anti-theist.
Like on the spectrum of like you two and Matt, I'm probably closer to Matt, agreeing with Matt on this. Just because I'm not very like controversial when it comes to, I'm like, yeah, if you're religious, do your religion, just like don't be an asshole about it. But like I don't like there's too many people who are being assholes about it. So like there has to be some kind of progress, Matt. And I don't know how we achieve that, but it's simply not by just like doing nothing.
Yeah,
but I get that like trying to exterminate it is wrong.
We don't achieve it by being assholes about their most deeply held fucking convictions. So
yeah, but but like there's a difference between like, I don't know if it's like rooted in hate. I'm like, yeah I have like homophobic people. I'm like, yeah, no, I have no problem being an asshole to them.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is where we have to be honest about the personal aspect of it. It's easy for me to say I haven't been slapped by religion like they have. So, of course, they have more animosity towards it. That's why it's easy for me to be objective about this conversation than they can. Just quite frankly, I haven't been abused by it like you guys have. So it's easy for me to fucking see that it's not quite as harmful as you guys might think it is because I haven't had the experience you guys have. Quite frankly, you guys get a little bit emotional about religion sometimes, which is fine. You don't make all wrong points. You guys are just kind of the asshole atheists sometimes I don't really fuck with on this topic.
No, that's fine, but I see the problem.
You guys make it harder for me to fucking talk to religious types of people. You guys literally make it harder for me.
You know what, though? Fuck the religious people, because those religious people that aren't assholes, they're totally fucking fine when the assholes do some crazy shit. They sit on their fucking hands and they don't speak up. And they let them coexist and let them get away with it. And they're totally fine to let that shit happen and they'll go along with it. So they need to be told the shit too.
Yeah, fuck
I'm done with those motherfuckers.
I'm just saying there's like ways there's just ways to like strategic.
It's like it's just like racism. It's like, are you not racist or are you anti-racist? And like that's the difference. And we need people to be anti-theist because we need people to be anti-racist.
I fundamentally disagree with.
Yeah, I disagree as well, Michael. They need to be anti-hatred.
That shit's just wrong. Anti-theism's outright wrong, and I will fucking.
No, it's not outright wrong. We can have this debate because theist is wrong out of the gate. It's a belief in nonsense.
It's not a belief in nonsense. That's your fucking caricature of it because you have a problem with it.
I have a problem with it because it's not real, and it's a perpetuation of bullshit.
You strawman religion, and you allow the worst aspects of it to define it, which is fucked up.
It's literally true. Religion is a belief without fact, without evidence. That's what the religious version of faith is.
You don't have experience in like religious philosophy whatsoever in the philosophy of religion, so you're making claims you just don't really know anything about.
I'm making claims about religion in America, in the current state of America where we are today, and its impact in our society and the way it has infiltrated our government from top to bottom, and that is their belief. And I see it in my community. And you know, if you want to talk about spirituality as something maybe different, I'm okay with that, and I'm cool with that. But in the context of American,
you just proved your own anti-theism right there by conceding spirituality.
No, I didn't, because spirituality is an open-ended term. Religion, American religion is very specific.
So spirituality refers to something not empirical.
American religion is about a belief in like taking the Bible literally.
The spirituality not refers to something not empirical. Yes or no?
Spirituality is about ponder. It can be very open-ended, and it can be about pondering or leaving open the possibility of realities that you don't have evidence for. But that's not what religion is. Religion is taking that a step further and believing, despite evidence or lack of evidence, in a reality that does not exist and there is no basis in reality for, and then perpetuating that to others as if that is the one and only truth. That's what modern day religion is in America, and it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, so when you give the context of in America, I mostly agree.
But here's what I'll say about this. I'm not against anyone's having their own beliefs. No, I'm not against individuals having belief systems. Right? I don't care. If you think the tree outside your fucking grandma, I don't give a fuck. But when someone's beliefs, aka faith, whatever you want to call it, right? Belief system impedes on someone else's rights, then I'm anti-theist. I'm saying I want to be very specific. I'm not anti.
You guys are secularists. You just don't want religion infringing upon the decision-making functions of society or impacting other people's rights.
No, well, maybe unless you're just directing that to them. But I disagree. I'm like, I don't even care if they keep it out of legislation. I don't think it's healthy for societies to have groups of people who hate other people. So even if it doesn't get in our legislation, I still think we need to do something about removing the hate.
Like Marco Rubio tweets a Bible passage like every morning. I think that's fucking horribly inappropriate and
because
disgusting.
He's an elected official. He's an elected official. But if he wasn't an elected official and that was just something he did, and he didn't like hate people,
I would just argue with him as a normal person and say he was
wouldn't be a problem though.
Twitter or like a personal Twitter. If it's his personal Twitter, do you? But if he's doing it for as like a government of like capacity, you shouldn't be doing that.
Then they push the boundary is the problem. Like he's doing it under his, but it's just normalizing this.
Here's where I'll say to your guys' point. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier, right? Like our God-given rights, right? Conflating God with the Constitution, conflating manifest destiny as like a real fucking thing, right? Their divine right to come and conquer the Indians and things of this nature, right? Just like it's destined to be, right? They're just destined to submit because these are lesser fucking savages who aren't Christian, right? So to your point, Christianity allows the white man to place himself above others who are not part of the faith, right? Which are typically people of color, right? Non-Western world, etc. So like, believe me, I hear all the shit you guys are saying. Like, I don't disagree with like 90% of it. It's just the way you guys frame it, and then the way you land. It's just like no.
No. I hear you. It's just such an ingrained.
So much more depth to the topic of like philosophy, religion than you guys are granting to it. Like just way more. Like I'm not trying to be asking.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think that
for that topic,
it is a very nuanced topic that you can have these like really in-depth conversations about. But I think that you have to address people that are indoctrinated to that degree. I think you have to have an element of like shaking them out of their position so that you can then have that conversation. And
so for example, tomorrow I'm going to drop a video where I say, I don't know why you guys get so mad about Planned Parenthood when God's pro-abortion. I mean, 1/4 of abortions or 1/4 of pregnancies end in miscarriage anyways, naturally. So take it up with God. Like, so I have no problem poking, right? Yeah. But like, there's a productive way to do it, in my opinion. Obviously, that's where it becomes subjective, right? It's like I'm poking at you guys for how you're doing it. I have my way of doing it.
I think that there's an intersectionality of approaches that can be used, and there's to simplify it, good cop, bad cop. Like, I think that's fine. I think that there can be multiple approaches, and some people we don't do enough like head-on attack on. Like, I'll come at Christianity the same way I come at capitalism. Like, it's fucking wrong.
How about this? Let me ask you guys this favor then. If you run into religious people who are respectful and they're not trying to push it on people, tailor your approach. Yeah, for like the fucking Westboro Baptists. Yeah, you know me. Fuck yeah, light them up. But
absolutely. I try to do that. I try to gauge who I'm talking to.
But I'll make this claim. I think the world's better off without religion, period.
Well, how is that possible? Like, I'm not saying that that's
wrong.
It's not possible. I'm not saying that's wrong, but I'm just like, here's another problem that I have. Like, this idea, Michael, is so not problematic. Like, there are billions of Christians on the planet, billions with a B. You're not going to convince billions of people to give up.
But what's right is right. What is correct is correct. What is real is real. And it's odd and fucking disturbing to me that we have to stand in a room and pretend that sometimes, like whatever, if people stop to pray before a meal, like we all have to stop and pretend as if that's not insane.
No, it's not insane. That's, first of all,
it is insane.
You should do that because it's just being respectful, and it's not.
But it's
insane.
an insanity. It is not based in.
It's just like their way of like how they express that they're grateful for the food they're about to eat.
No, not when it's like express. If it's just grateful for the food, that's fine. But that's not how it's oftentimes it's a very like I'm talking American evangelical religious prayer that is going on, and that shit is fucking. You have to, but people will stop and just out of respect pretend that the insanity is not happening in the room that they're standing in.
I do it all the time for like people at my tables, for example, if they start to pray beforehand, because it doesn't fucking affect me. It doesn't affect me in any way whatsoever. It doesn't impact me. So there's the test of your tolerance for other people.
It does. It doesn't. Not that you need to confront them right there and there in that moment, but
like,
their
you're focusing on the
beliefs
wrong
do
thing.
Impact you because
yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm like, yeah, hate impacts it emboldens people and impacts us. I agree with that. But I'm like, people saying grace is not the issue.
It's like the exact opposite of the issue. Like.
People saying grace is on the lower end of the spectrum, so that may have been a bad example, but it's still a relevant example because people stopping and saying, "We thank the Lord, we thank the Lord above for providing for this food." That is a nonsensical
If you're not
position.
saying grace before your meal, you are if you're not saying grace before your meal, you don't appreciate what you have in life because grace.
No, you can be thankful for the food that you have, but to give that thanks to a higher supreme power that is intelligent and interacting in our world today is lunacy, and we sit there and pretend as if it's not.
Dude, we're going to talk about determinism, and you want to say that people are lunatics for their fucking belief in God.
Yeah, we're all lunatics.
That's an argument. So you want to dismiss a form of determinism, but then you want to come back and talk about determinism. Okay, this is going to be a fun conversation.
Well, there are different types of determinism. Language is interesting like that, in that there can be different
philosophical swimming pool with you.
A word can mean different things in different contexts, and so there's spiritual determinism, and then there's scientific determinism.
You mean like faith and trust? Oh, interesting.
Yes, faith and trust and belief, and yeah, we can get into all of these topics, Matt. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not
coming at you, motherfucker, because I'm right on this one.
Michael's bad side, but like there is something about determinism's definition that has a real, it's God's plan kind of vibe.
Oh yeah, that's because it is deterministic. That's what the quality that they share. The difference is one is based upon a belief that there are physical laws of the universe that if you understood them all and the nature of everything in its current place, you could calculate out according and test your results with evidence and data. Spirituality determinism is different.
I'm being a douche canoe. There is a point to his, because given the scientific framework of the world and numbers and all that shit, there is some belief that if you had all the fucking variables, you would know what would happen next. We just don't have all.
When you're a god,
you're just whatever the fuck you would call
omniscient
being. Yeah,
that's the power that's the power they give to a.
But that's the point. Let's say we're a simulation or something like that. Like the fucking people who create us are God. Like that's why I don't give a fuck about the word God anymore. It's like I don't believe in your fuck. Like we always talk about this. Like I don't believe in your like omniscient, omnibenevolent, omnipotent God juxtaposed to free will, gratuitous suffering, and like things like that. Those can't all be true as defined.
And that's the one that when I speak of religion, that's the one that I'm arguing. I'm arguing against that version of religion.
Fucking the caricature God, where it's not a prescription, it's a physical description of the world, but gets in the way of science. I agree. Those motherfuckers have to go. Yeah. Anyone who utilizes religion as a scientific path can get fucked.
Yeah, it needs to stay out of our legislation, and any 100%. Churches that like don't have like critical thinking as like a core belief need to evolve and to have critical thinking as a core belief, because you should just want that in your community, and you need to rip out the pages that it promote hate.
How about that? If churches want to be like if they want to maintain like their
nonprofit,
if they want to maintain that, you have to teach a logic and an ethics course. Before that has to be the introductory course. So it has to be a logic and an ethics course, which teaches argumentation, which teaches the validity of arguments, the soundness of arguments, right? How to break down like logic, right? On like different forms, different fallacies, things of that nature. So you're taught how to fucking think critically before you're even given the material. If you want to make,
we can't do that in our fucking schools.
That would end religion.
Bummer.
Yeah, we can't get it in school. No enough religion.
Ultimately, I'm with you guys. I just think the approach is shit. So.
Yeah, and I'm ultimately with you too, Michael. I just think it's okay to also like be a little bit more respectful, because like
I'm done being respectful.
I don't think you should look at people.
I've seen enough of this shit. I've seen enough of their bullshit. I'm not being respectful to them anymore. Again, but that's why I like you guys, because we can have disagreements sometimes and be cool.
Right, but that's the thing though. I'm not against individual beliefs. I'm not anti-theist. I'm anti-theism. The entire belief.
Just fucking say you're anti-white Christians to make it fucking easy, because that's what we're dealing with here. You're anti-white Christian.
I'm
anti-white Christian nationalist.
That's why I say Abrahamic.
I don't know enough about Islam and enough about Judaism to talk down upon them, because I don't know enough about Islam as a faith how it would operate when it's not under attack. So
I just know that women don't have equal rights, period, according to the Bible. But here's the thing:
Quran. So they didn't get their enlightenment because we've been fucking like tearing them like apart for fucking centuries now.
But
So like
Christian doesn't have it either in the Bible. Like,
yeah, so that's the whole point. Yeah, but here's the thing. So look at what's happened in the Western world, right? As like science has been introduced and shit, and we could say it's pushed back against religion, right? It hasn't been allowed to fucking thrive over there because they've been fucking bombed, and fucking attacked by the white Christians, right? So the Christians who get the benefit of science, despite the fact they work against it, fuck the other religions so hard they don't even get any benefits of science. It's really fucked up to think about it.
Christianity's had some reformations.
It was had to go through those because of science.
Islam hasn't had any reformations, and the Torah, they just keep adding more fucking chapters to it, you know?
Well, Christianity needs to lead here and have another revolution, an evolution out of it, like an evolution to science.
There's been Islamic countries that have had like education for women and things like that. So again, this is just the exposure thing, and so like,
What's how it's applied? It's just simple. Like how it's
people
applied.
can religious leaders can pull out whatever they want from.
Honestly, bro, actually, dude, here's the thing. Honestly, Islam's probably a pretty peaceful faith because like there's a lot of them, and if they got smart, they could fuck us up tomorrow. And we do a lot of bullshit to them. So honestly, we should probably be happy they're not like the Christians. Because what do you think the Christians would do if they were getting bombed like this and there's as many of them?
Parallels with racism. If Black Americans were not seeking equality but seeking revenge, fucking look out. Because they. Anyways, but yeah, same parallels. Like this society, humankind has always been about power imbalances and struggles for power. Like those wanting it, those with it, those trying to secure their hold on it, and those without grasping for it. Our entire existence has been that.
And that's how you have people fucking utilizing the police as a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'll say this in closing. We need to work on you two motherfuckers talking over each other. It's pointless.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying we got to work on that. You guys just talking. I can't hear a single fucking word either one of you is saying half the time.
We were just.
I think it's good drama though. Like it's like good for the
content. That was like 2 minutes of us just fucking.
I'm just gonna edit all that shit out because I.
No. That's gold. Like, well, give it to me and I'll put it out because that'll be good for our hype video.
No, I'm just saying for this topic, we're not on a fucking topic, right? But
yeah,
like. There's a while that I didn't understand a single word either one of you because neither one of you would give the other one the fucking money.
Because we're both trying to out-talk the other to see who would.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'll talk longer than you, motherfucker, and I'll get the last word. Ha ha ha! I get it, but
it's okay to do that every now and then.
Yeah. Well, it's 11:45, and I gotta go to fucking bed. You know, so that's what I'm saying. I love these discussions. First of all, I planted a flag for that reason. I love this discussion. You know, I said I'm anti-theism, not just an atheist. You know,
dude, you planted a few flags tonight.
I started this fucking thing. You know,
comment. See what religion does.
No, the standing down or sitting during the anthem too, man. That's a flag right there, boy.
I can't. I'm actually again. I got to talk to my kids about this. But I might have to go to a sporting event. I'm not welcome at because they're gonna kick me out anyway.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to fucking do it the right way. As long as I don't cuss people out and threaten people, they can't make me leave.
As long.
Be prepared. You might have beer thrown at you.
Not at a high school football game.
No, not at a high school football.
Oh, you might have a high school football game. Come on, man.
Not legally. They go to fucking jail for bringing the shit on school property. Then they got a problem. Then we going to jail, bitches.
I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of beer at any high school football game I was ever at.
Yeah, but it's not here, bro. There's no.
It's different. I feel you. You guys are
not here.
You like one of those dry counties or something?
No. We have people get lit before the game.
Just not on premise.
That might be my biggest problem is some lit fucking psycho. But that's okay. I'm okay with throwing them over the fucking handrail. It's fine. But that's
we need to do this at an NFL game. Get it on camera.
I'm not wasting money. That costs money to get into a game, get kicked out. Fuck that.
We can crowd fund the game. Crowd fund voices like
my criminal record.
NFL game.
Reminds me of Randy from South Park? Just and all his like little
Randy from Trailer Park Boys.
Ken.
Is it Ken? No, it's not Ken.
Gets killed
from the South
Not
Park.
the guy getting killed. No, the dad always trying to fight. Oh, come on, you want to go? Like that's what it reminds me of, man. Like the dad's always getting in fights in like the fucking stadium. Like
that's the worst. You see, when I coached football, we had a guy that I went to school with. His kid was in flag football. He got so mad because their team didn't get a 1st and goal. He ran out and belly bumped the damn referee and knocked him down with his fucking gut.
What's he doing at home? That's the rule of thumb. If he's doing that shit in public, what's he doing at home?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I saw this guy. I was like, I ran over like, I was like, are you fucking serious? There's bullshit. I was like, it is flag football. Your child has no idea why you're even arguing. He don't know what the fuck 1st and goal means. They don't care.
Give a fuck. He don't give a fuck.
They just want to run around, have fun, not get hurt. That's all I care about. Run around, have fun, not get hurt.
They're playing football. They're playing fucking like midget capture the flag with a ball.
My son did flag football. It gets intense, yo. Like, I'm not lying. Like, that shit gets dialed up. Like, people get keyed up out there.
Bro, before COVID, I played in the fucking like washed up jock flag football league with all of us fucking has-beens. I know how competitive it gets, but there's a fucking line. Like, goddamn.
I had a friend break his femur playing flag football, and he was like fucking 28 years old. Got to go to work, you know. He broke his femur.
Damn.
And it's freaking.
Our league was good, dude. We had ex-college players. There's a guy who played in Canada who was a receiver. I had an ex-Browns defensive back who was only practice squad, not like he never logged a game, but practice squad. I mean, if you fucking practice squad for a couple of years, you're fucking. And I had to match up with his ass. He was about 10 years older than me at that point in time, and he was still dusting me, bro. Like I was kind of hanging, but he was dusting me. He was 10 years older than me, so I was like, damn, what were you looking like 10 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you know? Next level.
100%. He was hella chill. He was hella chill. We got pretty physical, but he was hella cool. It was like one of those fun physical ones, you know, like where it's like respect. But he was whooping my ass all night, dude. All night long. He was showing me.
That's why I don't go to softball games. I don't go to flag football games. It's just a bunch of has-been weird shit, you know, and like especially my little brother, it's fights and people yelling and fucking peacocking and all that.
I love it. I love watching humanity like be nuts, like go off the rails. I just like enjoy it.
That dude who's like got like a second story like balcony at Mardi Gras with your fucking drinks and some homies. You're just watching the show, just indiscriminately tossing fucking beads down,
like you're tossing bags of flaming shit. It's more like it. Anyway, I gotta shut the fuck up. All right, so that lady should be in jail. Blah blah blah. Cool. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna edit this, guys. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. I ain't gonna lie.
We can help you if you want. Like, this was a long. We probably overblew the time limit on every topic.
We usually go for an hour. This is 2 hours and 45 minutes.
For the record, though, my agenda was incredibly concise, boys.
We just didn't.
It is not like, in other words, don't tag me in with like when you're upset editing. Don't blame me because my agenda was concise.
That's why we should. These things are good though, man. Like people enjoy the fucking raw energy, like the raw us. It does fucking make it.
Yeah, that's why I like the live streams. Come for the fucking cat fight, man. We're here. We talk shit to each other. We always have one disagreement every live stream. At least
there's a lot of good like discussion though. They're like, I respect everyone's opinion on here, of course.
A lot of this yelling shit back and forth, disagreeing about religion. That's gonna be clips on TikTok.
Nice.
You know what I mean? That's some TikTok shit right there.
Yep.
We'll get some interaction.
Because this determinism debate is not over. Like,
well, here's the thing. For the Tricolops reasoning, there's only 3 things I'm going to keep from this and put on the YouTube channel, right? But the rest is all TikTok clickbait. You know, we're going to have some fun with that.
We're going to have a dual live on, I think, determinism, or yeah.
I think, yeah.
But
I'd be more interested. The thing was the determinism as much as I fuck with you.
Pause that thought. Let him wrap up the segment, and then Mike and Matt, then you can just talk to your like blue in the face.
Thank you.
Oh,
producer.
Yeah. Okay, so
producer Shy, thank you.
I just visualized the fucking turkey again. Damn it. Like caw, you know. Oh, fuck all. Now I'm trying to think of the way a turkey sounds imitating an eagle.
Did you see WKRP when they did the turkey drop episode? Do you know what WKRP is?
That old ass show? Yeah.
Yeah. And the Ness Lussman, he covered a turkey drop. I'm going to find the YouTube after this.
Me on that one, man.
Dude, it's...
I know there was a lady with blonde hair and some other assets that were emphasized for that show. That's all it was.
I don't know what you're talking about.
WKRP in Cincinnati, I think it's called.
That's it.
I'm fucking Gen X, baby. Anyway, yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you guys next time. And like always, yang yang. This motherfucker does this shit. What? No.
Now you're getting canceled. See, now you don't. That's the worst thing in the night right there. Like, your ass is getting canceled for that.
Oh, my
Lord.
God. Well, that was
still
fun.
live? I think we're still live.
Yeah, we are still live. So, yeah, not that I don't mind doing the agendas, boys, but maybe, I don't know, like what, we could make this more concise. So if
I got my marching orders, I'll be better about sticking to task. Yeah.
But like at the same time, I'm like, every so often we should just do a free for all where it's just like one topic and then we just discuss that because like.
Okay, since I have you all here, Monday, whatever night, one night fucking panel discussion where we just fucking balls to the wall, have some fun, targeted night, more like hot news topics,
If we
relevant topics, and then a couple late nights a week where it doesn't matter who you're doing, where you just do one-on-one discussions of topics.
You could do it even in the same episode if you made sure that after the topic was introduced, you just made a point of 2 minutes, 1 minute per person. Like you get a turn, everyone gets to say there, and then just enforce it like, hey, we're coming up on our time. So.
And then do a nice wrap up where just goes.
And then everyone can fucking debate for a few minutes after that.
What I should have done is just taken one clip of thanks for joining us, and I'll just, instead of having to say it again, I'll just use that same fucking one, man. There's no point in saying it in the middle after a fucking couple of times. It was like a fucking feel like a fool. But I still do it. I have to put on the fucking.
Just kind of like
It's a good segment, actually. Like
I'm kind of surprised that Michael goes off the rails because he does like the video editing just like I do for our stuff. So, but I'm like in Matt's defense, like he doesn't see life like an editor. And I'm like, if people saw life like an editor, they would really make your life easier. I will always make your life easier.
I think that we have more interesting content come out spontaneously. Like I mean,
Then write it down. Wait till we're done with the segment, and then be like, you know what, I'd like to add. Because I do that all the time. Kind of like when I had to add the bit about the children's. I was like, you went on like, here's how often cops died from COVID, and I was like, oh, I have a point to add. Let me just wait till they like finish, and then you guys went on like a completely different pivot, and then I just brought it back around when it was actually a good time to speak.
I think there's something to be said for both of what he's saying. I think there's some room for flexibility when smart ass motherfuckers have something to say to let them go do their thing, even if they misfire sometimes. And there's also something to be said for knowing, maybe we should fucking keep that one to myself right now. We can
for the record, anyone can tell me to shut the fuck up at any time, and I will not take offense. Like I will shut the fuck up. So you can even put it in the private chat. Shut the fuck up, and I will like shut the. I'll be like, I'll see it, and I won't even say. I'll just be cool. I'll be like,
you'll be like, anyway.
Yeah. Enough of that.
Screen just fucking cuts.
Like CNN does, or Fox, when someone says something wrong, he's like, "Oh, we lost the satellite feed."
Oh my god, no shit. Well, it's nice talking to you.
I'm right here. Nope. Satellite feed's definitely not working.
They can't find the mute button.
Like wrong number.
Are we streaming tonight? Are we done?
I probably will.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and kill this feed, you guys.